Alright guys, welcome back to Dope Check. It is episode number 57 or something like that, and we are back again to discuss Major 3 in Miami. It's going to be a big event in a couple of days' time, and all the storylines are converging on what is going to be a pretty spectacular tournament. We had 5 teams at 4-1. We had a couple of teams nearly starting in the losers bracket. OpTic Texas, a big point of controversy given that they did not qualify especially well, but they are in the winners bracket. The major matches upcoming for them. FaZe struggling this stage, but still potentially for the favourites of the tournament. We are going to do all our predictions for the day. We've got some roster stuff to discuss as well, because one team might need a serious change, another team made a serious change, and it didn't especially end so well. Big drama on the day as well. I'm joined by the gentleman, and guess what? We had a brand new intro today. McGregor cooked it up because welcome Donny Temp, official co-host of the show. It is an absolute pleasure. Trei's here as well, fresh from the barbers. Don, how are you doing? It's good to have you back. I know that your face is massive on this screen. It will be smaller on the next screen. Do not worry.
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be an official host. You know, I'm going to be here every Monday. It's lit, man. I've been having a great time. I've been really loving the support everyone's been giving me, and you guys have been making me feel comfortable on the show, so it's a great time. Let's do it again.
Another show, another masterclass. That's what I like to call it. Listen, if I go black screen or, you know, I just disappear, just know I've blown up. No, not actually blown up. My PC is blown up. Listen, we're getting it situated. But listen, a lot to talk about. A lot of people shit in the bed that we said, you know, me and Donny ran a pre-show yesterday, little impromptu pre-show saying, you can't shit the bed. You can't shit the bed. You can't shit the bed. And guess what? They all shit the fucking bed. They all shit the sheets.
It's bad.
It's bad. Listen, it's a pleasure to have Don here. It's a pleasure to, you know, we've got a nice little group going right now. You know, a lot of things to talk about today, like you said, Rab. We got a lock in. We got bracket predictions. The majors coming up. We're not going. We didn't get invited. They don't like us.
We're doing this again.
I'm joking because we're just not going. We didn't want to go to Miami. But listen, we've got a lot to lock in today. Episode 57 coming up to Major 3. Let's lock in for a good show.
Let's lock in. Thanks to Prize Picks for supporting the content as always. You guys killed it on the pre-show yesterday for the OpTic versus FaZe series. If you guys want to get involved in all the Prize Picks action, certainly the Major 3, because there's some big storylines coming up. Get involved, code Breaking Point, and all the relevant links will be in the description box below to claim your free $50 when you put down a $5 pick. Let's crack right on. Actually, first of all, for those watching live, our producer put together some goals for the stream. We're looking for 400 likes on the stream today, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've already got another generational member too. So the generational hater club grows, and I'm feeling more a part of it than ever right now because I've been hating, and it's been paying off sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, but this is what it's all about. Thanks to all those subscribing to the channel too, because we're on the road to 100k. When producer put this together, we were on 68,540. We've gained 19 subs since then. You can see in the bottom right hand side of the screen. If you sub to the channel, that will go up live during the show. Don't get any better.
Which isn't good enough. It isn't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, like,
so,
we're trying to get to
more subs,
that's like
more
31,000. You know what I'm saying?
The reason we ain't going to Miami is because we can't afford it because you guys ain't liking the stream. So
yeah, exactly. We'd have content being straight out of Boca Raton, but they got a nice pool, so you know, tempting. Let's get right into it. I did want to firstly touch on, because you know you were talking about it earlier, Don. Formal's done it again. OpTic Halo, they get the win yesterday. Look, we're not going to dive into the nitty gritty of Halo and try and analyze it. Like, I ain't built for that. But we can talk about Formal as a player, as a competitor, as a personality, because the online stint that OpTic Halo have had so far this year has not exactly been spectacular. But in the off season, the team that won the World Championship, Formal went out and broke up that team to form the OpTic squad that he wanted with the intention to win again, because they've been struggling getting second for the last couple of years. And that's what he goes out to do. I just think it'd be interesting to hear your guys' take on what it was like playing against Formal back in the day, and the fact that he's still doing it now at like the age that he is, but all of the years that he's played to still be motivated and competing at this top level. I think a lot of other players, and frankly anyone, but a lot of other players can probably learn a lot from the way that Formal goes about his business.
Easy, slammed him. Easy, slammed him. Done and dusted. Broke up that. I'm joking. My first ever like interaction with Formal properly was like, obviously we played each other in IW. I've played him like AW and stuff like that, but in IW, I've never spoke to him before that really. And then obviously I was doing really well, and I think it was after I won the MVP, I came back and I was streaming. People were like, "Oh, Formal's got you in his clan tag," and I was like, "Shit! Like I'm verified right now. I'm valid. I'm valid in the scene." You gotta think though. He comes from Halo, goes to Call of Duty, absolutely smashes it in Call of Duty. Probably everyone's like favorite AR for, if you know, upon top 3 with Slasher and Octane, if you want to say that. Says, "Nah, I'm done with this shit." Goes back to Halo, starts dominating. Everyone's like, you know, I see a lot of people, "Oh, he needed a God Squad to do it." Yeah, that conversation sucks ass, because the only way you get a God Squad is being a good fucking player, which he is. One of the greatest FPS players of all time, if not the. And I saw a lot of comments in there saying, "We need you for Skies."
Yeah. Well.
So that leads me to believe, you know, could Formal come back and do it in COD? I think he's got the mentality to come back and do it in COD. Which I feel like that's what COD is really these days. Mental and just shooting straight. Bit of teamwork here and there, but as long as you've got the mental, and clearly he could compete, because now he's doing it against the young guns that have got insane movement on Halo, insane shots. So clearly he's still got it in that aspect. So Formal back to COD. Come on, I'm rooting for that.
I was actually thinking, like, if they would have lost, if they would have broke down, like, that game 6, like, they were literally 2 inches away from winning. Like, I think if they would have lost the game 7, he might have been done, bro. Like, that would have been, like, 5 second places in a row. Like, as a fan, like, second, you're like, oh, second. Like, when I got my first second, I was happy. Because, like, I had just got top 40, like, 3 events ago. So I was like, damn, I'm just happy to be here. But once you get second, like, multiple times, it's like, it's the worst feeling in the world, because you're right there. All you gotta do is do a couple things better and you win the whole thing. So I respect them for winning. Obviously, I respect Formal. He's a GOAT. He hasn't burnt himself out. I think he has been burnt out at moments throughout his career, and then switching games probably helped him with that. Like, he was fed up with COD, goes to Halo. He might feel fed up with Halo if he kept getting second place. He would have came back to COD. So I don't know how old he is. He's probably around 30 now, which is like, so. You can play Call of Duty as long as you want to, or any esport. It's just about managing burnout and, like, being able to keep grinding hard. You know what I'm saying? And he's been able to do that. The guy's been a, like, super grinder since, like, when I was like, I couldn't even compete in Black Ops 3. We were playing 8s every day. In IW, we're playing it. IW, he was the best player in the world. He was playing every single 8 series every fucking day. He's just a legend, bro. It just is what it is. It's expected for him to, like, as long as he wants to play and he can keep managing burnout, he'll always be like a contender to win the chip. So
I think a lot of his COD burnout came from Warzone and Blackout. You know, scrimming every single day from a certain time to a certain time, then 8s. Then he'd stream Blackout for 12 hours. He had like 20K subs on there too. He was frying, so obviously he was just living life. But like you said, you know, and then Warzone comes out. Him and Wuskin are doing 24-hour benders left, right, rhubarb. You know, so that's where I really think his COD burnout really happened, which is probably why Halo doesn't really burn you out that much, Don, because you ain't really got shit to do over there. You know,
they say that they play like one scrim, like every 2 days sometimes, if they can even get lucky. So shit, that's good load management. Shit.
Well, back in the day when Splice were like, when Shotzzy was on that Splice team, they were so much better than anybody else in 2018 that they literally wouldn't scrim anyone else. They would just play 2v2s against each other. That was their practice, because they didn't want to scrim anyone else, because they thought they were just going to make people better. So they just played 2v2s in their own team. And that was like, you turn up to the event, you have no idea how good they are or how you're going to beat them, because you've not scrimmed them.
Yeah. I would say it's such a shame to see where Halo is in terms of an esport, because let me tell you, that game is far better to watch than fucking Call of Duty. Like, it is so fun to watch. It is such a fun game to play. You know, hopefully you get some sort of like revitalization or something like that, because listen, that game is fun to watch. It's fun to play. I also think the players make it fun to watch too. There's a lot of like personalities in there too. So, you know, hopefully Halo comes back booming.
The scene again, the issue is the World Championship for Halo was last October, and this has been the first event, right? So it's been 6 months. Again, it's another classic. It's not like that in COD, because it is, but at least in COD you got a new game, right? Whereas realistically, what's happened in the last 6 months for Halo, not that much. It's kind of sad because, well, not sad really, but it just is what it is. The Formula 1 channel that I run today, when I go and like connect that to my OBS, it still comes up as Halo news, because when I first started that channel, it was going to be a channel about Halo, because that's when Infinite came out, and I was like, you know what, I could probably talk about this. It's pretty entertaining, good personalities, but I realized within a couple of months that there's just either not enough going on, or it was just a difficult scene to cover. For various reasons, it was a difficult scene to cover, so I elected not to do it, which is the right decision, but like it's kind of sad that, because I'd have kind of liked to do it for a little while. PD says, nah, it's been confirmed. Scrum's got him to leave COD. In COD, you scrum for 8 hours. In Halo, you only scrum once a day, and it's much easier. Yeah, and Formal said that like every single time he's mentioned coming back to COD, he says, you know, the workload is high. Like he can play Halo and not get burned out. Coming back to COD would be different gravy. But I'm not sure you can ever drag Formal away from competition.
Well, that's the issue. Is like with COD, you're locked into 2 scrims minimum a day, and then if you're doing bad, the fans just assume you don't play COD, so then you're forced to play 8s, which 8s fucking suck. They don't actually make you any better, in my opinion. You're just running around shooting your gun against good players like you would anyway. The only thing that I would say probably is good is S&D 8s. I think Respawn 8s are terrible, if you want me to be honest with you. So, and Don, you know that from back in the day too. You just pick 5 motherfuckers that can shoot straight against 5 motherfuckers that can shoot straight, and whoever wins shot straighter. Like there was nothing else to it.
I like dates personally, but
but it don't make you better though. You know what I'm saying? It was just fun to play against. You know.
Yeah, you just gotta know like.
You got to differentiate what you're doing in 8s to what you're doing in your team.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You got it's different. It's not even the same like game, 100%. Yeah, and then sometimes you put a little, you handicap yourself a little bit. Like no disrespect, I play 8s versus like some stag team. I got Moch and Haggy on my team, and I win that series. I'm God. That would translate because now I'm going to scrims. I'm carrying. Because Moch and Haggy, them motherfuckers could not move in that game, bro. Like. I promise you, there's sometimes at 8s that shit might give you that takeover power, bro. Don't put it.
I mean, I remember a scoreboard, Don. It was from Black Ops 3. It was like a fringe hardpoint 8s from the start of the game. Yeah, so you had 75, 74, 75.
Yeah, like, obviously that's fake. Like,
yeah, I know it's kind of fake news, but like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have 75 in a real match, but like the fact that I had 75 in that match is a takeover, bro.
Yeah, like, but like the record that year was 62. On that map, so it was kind of wild. Yeah, Don, can you move your camera down just a fraction? Because I can't like get all of your. Oh. If you just tilt it down like just a little fraction. Yeah. That's good. That's going to be fine. That's going to be perfect. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, now I can get you nice and centered. Now I can, Trei don't roast me for having worse production than him on one day practice. So. Move on from that.
No, my production was pretty bad yesterday. I'm not gonna lie.
Any final thoughts on Formal? Like, do we actually think he's ever going to come back? Because I would love to say he would, but I don't think he will. I don't think
Listen, for starters,
he would have lost that game 7, bro.
You think?
For starters, he's only coming back for OpTic. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Secondly, even. Listen, scrimming 8 hours, and then also if you're getting shit on, you're probably playing the 3rd set because you're getting shit on, you're trying to work things out, and then you're like, shit, mate, I'm getting shit on, so now I gotta play 8s, like, then you're getting ran through. It's just not worth it. Like, especially if he's making good, obviously he's making good money on Halo, he's Formal for fuck's sake, you know what I'm saying? He can do whatever he wants, so as long as he's enjoying himself, keep him over there, man. As much as I'd love to see him back over here and it'd create so much hype and everyone would love it, it's all about yourself in this instinct. Stay over there.
The thing is, Formal and Dashi, like, it didn't work out 5 years ago. So probably not gonna work out 5 years later is my guess. But obviously, it's different circumstances.
Also, I think Formal would lose full play in this game.
Oh yeah, probably. But the movement, I don't know. Maybe you'd like it. It's not quite BO4, but.
No, I think he would hate this game. Like, getting ran at by fucking Sympabeezy Hydra Scrap. Just, I think he'd lose full. I know I would.
How do you compare
Shoot.
Formals? Because, okay, Formals won a COD ring and a Halo ring, and he's won a ton of championships outside of that. So Shotzzy has a Halo ring and 2 COD rings.
Not close, in my opinion.
Personally, I don't think it's close, but people compare it as like greatest ever.
Listen, Formal was on the dynasty, bro. Like, they were just going. They would show up on a Friday, look like the worst team in the game, and then just smash everyone all weekend.
It's Formal, bro. One that, like, apparently I'm Shotzi's #1 rider recently because I haven't been flaming him. So let me say that. But Shotzi's not close to Formal, bro. I'm gonna be honest, like in an all-time FPS, just because Shotzi's 1 ring is online. Obviously, it counts. At 300K, that shit real. I would love to have an online ring, but it counts. But it's not a IW comeback from losers bracket twice, 2 events in a row versus Envy, Slasher, John, Cap, and fucking App. Like, revert or beat them twice, win 2 best of 5s, like on land, beat everybody at the tournament. Like, it's just not the same. The Halo one is respectable. His Halo chip is super tip, and even the last year one is super tip. But Matt has also won like I said, the event before. He's won so many playoffs, so many other events. Like, it's just not close.
I think from like the reason why I think it's Formal and it's not close is because Formal's just such a well-rounded player. Like, he's done it with so many different teams, but also he brings everything to the table. Like, he brings the clutch factor, he brings the communication, he brings... When Formal's in your team, you're never out of it. You never feel like he's going to be on a team that's getting slammed. Even when he left OpTic and then he goes to LG, he was still absolutely frying. Next year, he won a chip with that team. So Formal's just inevitable, you know? Like, if Slasher didn't have the whole Thanos gimmick, and I know that his rival was Formal, like, Formal would be a pretty good candidate just because of how like well-rounded he is in every domain. So I don't think it's close. I know that in terms of pure accolades, I guess Shotzzy has more rings, but I think the argument it's too much nuance in the argument. But yeah, that was my segue, Michael, because we're going to talk about Formal, then we're going to talk about Shotzzy a bit, and then we're going to talk about Call of Duty. So let's crack on with that. Quick thoughts on this. We got oJohnny. He's been playing decent COD so far on the Gentlemates, but obviously they've been getting slammed. And we had another witch hunt. Maybe it's a justified witch hunt. But your guys' perspective as players on single tap sprint, because that's what we're talking about again here.
Yeah,
I know that the names are complicated, but
I had it up on the show. I had it up on the pre-show yesterday.
Yeah. What were your guys like? I wondered if you talked about it. Like, what was your initial takeaway?
Yeah, I brought up a few things. I brought up a few like tweets and stuff like that I said to talk about in the pre-show, and this was one of them. And me and Don just came to the conclusion of, listen, a challenger player coming up from challengers to the pro league, everyone in challengers is using that shit. So don't expect them to come into the pro league where they're fighting for their spot, fighting for a spot next year, fighting for a full-time job. You know, they want to become, they want to do this as a living. Don't expect them to come up and for something that they've been using for like 6 to 8 months and just abide by those rules, even though like it's GA'd. But he's coming up. Of course he's going to use that shit. Every challenger player is going to use that shit. There's probably even some pros using that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Dashi said it. He
Trei.
was like, he thought Metals was using it. So
I agree with Trei. And then I watched a Beezy setup video. Shout out to Beezy. I like his little setup videos he's been doing. Bro, they all run single tap. What's the one? There's a run and then there's sprint. Bro, the single tap run is like barely better. Like, I'm not saying it's not better, but like, y'all already got single tap sprint. Y'all, like, what the fuck? Y'all might as well run single tap run. It's like probably a slightly better option, but they're both cheesy. Like, they're both not double tap. No one's running double tap in this game. It'd be different if most pros are running double tap and then oJohn had single tap run on or whatever the fuck. Like, y'all all got single tap sprint. He just has single tap run because he was in fucking challengers. Like, what the hell? Like, I just feel like if single tap sprint now, because I know for a fact like it's allowed, why not just allow run? If y'all are already like trying to make it easier, like just allow run. I swear run kind of fucks you over a lot of times, like in S&D, especially, like it can get you killed. Like there are negatives. I feel like a good player on the best player in the world on sprint would be better than the best player in the world on run, just because run can literally get you killed. Like sometimes that's why people MW19. I remember MW19 when ATS was like first a thing. And S&D, the shit where you just insta spray, that shit was ass. Like if you wanted to just walk a corner or some shit, like that shit was horrible. So then I just took it off. But in hardpoint, it was nice because I'm flying all around the map. I'm fucking everywhere. But then S&D, that shit is awful.
And if you wanted to like creak open a door, you just fucking slam that shit open. So everyone just like, wait, do you remember that story, Don, of Crim using it against everyone in MW 2019?
Oh yeah.
So he could test people if they knew he had it on.
Yeah.
And we were playing him and we called him out on it, and we was arguing or something like that. He was like, "Yeah, I was just seeing how long it would take you shitters to realize that I'm using it." He goes, "It's been 3 weeks."
Porter's actually so fucking brain dead.
He goes, "It's been 3 weeks and none of you shitters knew I was using it. I'm still gonna keep using it."
I like the logic though, because at the end of the, you're not wrong. Like if you're not mandating double tap, and if you're gonna start using the settings and like, well, hang on a second, why is this setting allowed, not this one?
I just remember our coach Dom like spectating Crim. He's like, "Yo, I think Crim's got auto attack sprint on." And we're like watching back the VOD. He's like, he has. And we go, "Yo, Crim, you got that?" And he goes, "Fuck yeah, I do. I was waiting to see how long you shitters could fucking tell."
Still won the world championship that year. That's my go, man.
Hey, he's
That's
funny, man.
good.
He's probably the best personality COD's ever had. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think he is, hands down.
Bro, I was at the after party in Dallas. I sit down with Crim and Hilton from OpTic, right? Like the coach guy, and I have my watch on. Like it's a decent watch. Like it's like I wear every day. It's this Tudor Black Bay. He gets me to take it off, and he's like, I didn't know what he wanted from it. And then he put it over to Hilton's watch, and he's got this like Rolex day date like diamonds.
Oh yeah, he's got a baller watch. Yeah, he's got a baller watch.
It's like 50K, and Crim was just cooking my shit because it's like, you ain't got to watch that. You ain't got to watch that. You ain't got bread like that. I'm like, bro.
Right, Crim's dumb as hell.
Yeah. Hell yeah, he is. Yeah, I was actually cool, dude. Okay, let's move on. I don't know if you talked about this yesterday, but I know Don mentioned it before the show about this whole new organizations thing. Who's coming in? Who's gonna go? What's happening next year? Because every year we talk about this at some point. That is it time for expansion? It's been 6 years. Is this the year that we go up to 16 teams? The answer is no. But unfortunately, we've still got more poverty orgs. Paris Legion, respectfully done. They were a poverty org. They had to go. And they've gone. Well done, everyone. Florida Mutineers are still here, but in different guys. We've had a couple of teams come and go over the last few years. But now we're talking about other teams coming in. And to be fair, Trei, we've heard about this for some time. It should be no surprise. Like, there are orgs out there trying to get involved. Cloud9 have come back into CODs. Like, that's a dub. The whatever way you see it, I kind of miss the subliners and everything, but Cloud9 are back in COD, and that's a good sign for the scene. I know that a lot of it is because of the World Cup existing. They want to have a presence there, and they get subsidized on some level to make that happen. So it makes sense. G2 are back in COD with the Minnesota ROKKR. So there have been some good developments, but also organizations like, I know I heard about TSM a couple years ago. I don't know if they're still interested. Maybe something like Liquid. I don't know. I actually have no idea what other orgs are interested, but I'm sure there are organizations out there that would like to follow that lead and come back into COD. But if they get outbid for the spot, then good luck. And we still have a couple of poverty orgs about that. The reality is before the league expands, these teams are probably going to try and sell. And so that's kind of where we are today. So I guess before we talk about the Saudi orgs thing and what that looks like, we should discuss a little bit of which orgs might sell if they could, because I think there's a couple of key candidates, Trei.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Boston. They had issues last year. They were looking to sell. They came back. But listen, I think for starters, let me just say this. I think if 2 more Saudi orgs come in, I think you're going to start to see a big takeover from Saudi Arabia, which I'm not going to lie to you guys, said this, maybe like a year and a half ago when Falcons were coming around. You just can't compete. The money-wise, you just can't compete. Plus the CDL, you're obviously not making like a shit ton of money from the CDL. So it kind of makes sense to go sell. I think if 2 more Saudi orgs come in, then you're going to see a lot more Saudi orgs come in, a lot more people selling, which is cool. I'm all right with it. Whatever keeps the game afloat, whatever keeps the esport afloat. You also got to realize as well that I'm pretty sure that the EWC isn't a partner of the COD League anymore. I think they like own it or some shit like that. I think that happened somewhere along the line. So, because
I mean,
it used to say
deeply embedded now.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because it used to be like EWC was a partner, but like I don't think it says like they're a partner anymore. I think they might have taken over. So, which kind of makes sense as well. With the orgs that are going out, you got to look at Ravens. They've been wanting out for a while. You got to look at Boston. They wanted out, but they came back in. There's a few other orgs that could sell up probably. Let me just go to the website real quick and check out all the. Let me go to breakingpoint.gg where you can check out all the. Where you can go check out everything to do with Call of Duty.
Yeah, we got the standings right here, so we'll have a look at these teams.
I mean, even FaZe. Listen, even FaZe could sell. Because they're not owned by FaZe, they're owned by a different, sector. They're owned by Atlanta Ventures or whatever they're called, esports. So, they could probably sell in a Saudi org, which could kind of make sense because FaZe is partnered.
Imagine that. Can you imagine? And it would still be called FaZe.
FaZe is partnered with FaZe is partnered with EWC. Yeah, FaZe is partnered with EWC. A team like Twisted Minds could come in and just buy them because I have a feeling FaZe would want to sell too because obviously you don't see them being spoke about so much. But
because that's the point, I guess, is that it would still be FaZe, possibly. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't, but like it could still be FaZe. Yeah. It could just be a different ownership group of FaZe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's what's going to happen with everyone here. I feel like anyone that buys these teams, they're going to be called still where they are. So it's going to be like it would be called like let's say Twisted Minds bought Boston. It'd be like fucking Boston Mines or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
What about Surge? Didn't Surge want to get out at one point?
So it's enthusiast gaming over there, right?
I'm not gonna lie. There was about before the league got rid of the buy-in for all the teams. There was about 6 or 7 orgs that wanted to leave. There was about 6 or 7 orgs that were ready to sell, and that's when you got like the likes of TSM and all those other orgs wanted to buy in. Because of that, I don't think Ultra would sell. I don't think Ultra would sell at all. LAG, they've just obviously got more people to buy in, but like I said, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, LAG are now gone basically. Their branding is going to be gone next year.
It wouldn't surprise me if you guys saw 3, maybe 4 Saudi orgs come in and purchase a spot because, crazy, like I said, to them they want to take over the esports realm, and that's what they're doing. So. How would you go around it? You would just start with COD because Call of Duty is one of the biggest games in the world. So you would start there.
See, in other sports, what they've been like, they just start their own league. But in this league, because the team's got no bread, they just take over the league. They just come into the league and buy the teams. Because, it's interesting. I'm not like, I know Double XP asked a question. Shout out Connor, by the way, for a couple of super chats. We'll get to that second one in a second. But Double XP was asking how much money does it take to buy in nowadays? I'm not so sure it works like that, but I think there's some sort of like lease that the teams, they pay like a yearly fee to be part of the league or something like that, and then they receive obviously the money from the YouTube deal, and then they receive other revenues and stuff. So it probably makes it worth it, as it were. But I think there's some sort of like ongoing fee that the teams have to pay. So you got to pay that, and then the team that currently owns the spot, like, I guess they own the right to pay the lease. So then you have to kind of buy that off them. And I don't know how much that... I mean, how much did Gentlemates buy LA Guerrillas for? A couple of mil, maybe? Maybe probably less?
Probably something like that. Probably like $1 mil, $2 mil.
Exactly, yeah. So that's... You're talking You're talking you need probably a couple of mil to get in, maybe nowadays, maybe less.
Well, you need a couple mil to buy the spot, and then you need like the backing to maintain it. And there's no one better to maintain the backing than, you know, Saudi run orgs, because they've just got all the money. Even like dope checks for sale, you know, dope checks for sale.
Little Saudi flag at the top left.
That's what I'm saying. We'll be a Saudi run esports
Might need to be done.
podcast.
We need a headquarters we need a headquarters on the 44th floor of the Fairmont though.
We got
need
Chris
one of them.
Salimi says, how much for dope check? I'm a rich what did he say? I'm a rich Arab, I think he said. He said he's a rich Arab. Listen, it's a couple
we won't be naming our
price.
price. We'll let you name the price. Then we can negotiate.
Yeah, it's a couple
First
mil,
rule of
couple mil,
negotiating, you come up with the price. I gotta say.
Yeah, give us a number, but make sure it's cash.
Con had a good question earlier. He said, just before we forget it. Tough question. Chubby Trei versus Chubby Don. Who wins?
In what though?
In the
Just
ring
in
and
what?
on
Like,
the server.
like an eating contest? Like,
Oh.
In an eating contest, I think I got you.
no, I was talking like 8K.
So what year were you, what year were you?
8K. 8K. You might add that.
What year was what was peak Chubby Trei? What year was it?
2019, I think. That's where I would say. Yeah, that's when we was living in Vegas. I'd get bored and order a Sonic. I'd get bored and order like 7. If I had no drinks in, I would just order a 7-Eleven fucking super large big gulp.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't even chubby. I was just humongous. That's a difference. I'm a little chubby right now.
They were like, yo, Trey, we got a night of 8s. I'd be like, right, let me lock in 7-Eleven order, 2 big gulps, and then when I'm finished at 8, to be a little Sonic order, little Sonic blast with 2 double cheeseburgers, 3 a.m. Absolutely.
He might have you cooked on. Hot dog eating contest.
I think, bro, I weighed way more than Trey, bro, for sure. Bro, at my biggest, I was 350.
Yeah, I was 295.
Oh.
Okay, that's and we about the same height.
Get it
we
there.
about the same height, so the height not even not even a difference.
Nah. Listen,
bro.
I was on I was eating.
When is the chubby rab era? I don't know. I don't know if we're getting chubby rab era. I ain't gonna lie. Don't know if I ever had a chubby era. I mean, probably my chubby era was Dallas when my stomach was fucking bloated every day because of the shit food I was eating. I kept getting cooked in the photos.
Listen, I've been on a grind, right? I'm on like a 1.2k calorie deficit or some shit a day. I'm not eating any carbs. Yesterday was a little bit shitty. I can't lie. I had an Easter egg. Sue me. Do whatever you want. All right. Listen, I've been going swimming. I've been going gym. And the only reason
I can see a lot. I think you're looking looking a little lean to actually.
Yeah, no, I am. I've lost. I'm like 170 again. Like 170 again. But listen, it was because when I came back from Dallas, we done a show, and someone said, "Oh, Trey looks like he ate with a barbecue in Dallas." So right there and then, the next day, I got a gym membership. I said, "Fuck you, I'm going back to it."
Oh yeah.
But you're 170 pounds.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good as fuck.
Lowest.
That might be a little too skinny though.
My lowest was 150.
Damn.
That's what that was
MW.
You're like 6'1". You're like
MW. Listen, that was MW 2019 when you guys dropped me. I went on like a fucking.
Tweaking.
Oh my god, you went to that in like 1 year from 295 to 150?
150?
You like halved in a year? That is insane.
Bro, I was doing like 600 calories a day. Shout out the bean.
Shout out the bean.
Shout out the bean.
Absolutely. That is pretty wild, I ain't gonna lie. Okay.
Taking that shit like Skittles.
Back to reality, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right
No,
back.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
I will say on the Boston breed. Okay, so tour. If let's say we get Torgs getting sold, because we've seen this like last year, and every year we seem to get Torgs, get some sort of drama. Boston, as far as I'm aware, they've still been having conversations. I don't think the conversations are over. I don't think it's like, oh no, we're back, we're here for good. Like they are still entertaining conversations about the future of the franchise. So if a Saudi org comes along and says, hey, we can pay you X, and then Boston come back and say, how about you pay us 2X? And then the Saudi org comes in and says, you know what, 3X, done deal, sign on the dotted line, lock it in.
Yeah, the funny thing is, you can just negotiate where like the Saudis are like, all right, how much do you want to put on there? It's like it's just a blank check. It's just like, how much do you want to sell it for? All right, bet that's cool with us. Yeah, Ravens, on the other hand, who was the organization that was wanting to sell, kept having conversations but never sold? It might have been Ravens. There was an org that kept saying they wanted to sell, got the offers, and then just...
I actually thought it was Boston, to be honest. I think they did have the offers. Connor was also gassing up Don, so I wanted to make sure that was on the screen as well. He said, mad entertaining, great insight and gameplay, player perspectives. There you go, it's good gas, Don.
Wait, what happened?
Nah, Connor he just dropped a super chat gassing you up, so I want to give...
shout out to Connor.
You guys gas. I think it was Boston, but also Ravens have been in the convo too. I mean, obviously they went from London to Carolina for some godforsaken reason. They made the jersey better. I guess there was that.
Nah, come on. The London jersey was fire.
Again, I do have
that London hoodie was
kind of fire.
I thought that shit was ass. They're like, yo, Trey, what do you think about this? I was like, can I design it? Because this thing's terrible. Why are we doing red and blue?
Yeah, maybe people are talking LAG. LAG were going to... I guess LAG... Yeah, Cronky said they were going to sell. But so did Robert Kraft. Or I imagine it wasn't them. It was their, like, entourage who actually...
Their advisors. Listen, Robert Kraft... listen, Cronky, Robert Kraft... They didn't watch a lick of CDL. I didn't even know what COD was.
Bro, they just knew Bobby Kotick and were like, yeah, sound 25 mil, what do you want? It's like, yeah.
And what did Bobby Kotick get? He got like 400 mil from somewhere.
Yeah, and Hex is like getting screwed over out of the league because he ain't got 25 mil to spend for no good reason. And then Bobby Kotick's boys are like, yeah, sound, let's ruin this whole esport. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, nah.
Boston have done well this year, but if they do sell the spot, will I be that sad about it? I actually do like a lot of the people at Boston. It would kind of be sad for them to be no longer here, but also as an org with the resources they have. Like, look, I cooked Paris Legion bad, and for good reason, on the fact that they had no ambition, they weren't trying to win. And as much as I like this Boston team, and you guys know that, they ain't trying to get any better. Like, this is their team, this is how it is. They're not going to spend big money to get a big player and try and level up. And they can be a respectable force in the league, but I've got to stick with my guns and say, look, would I prefer an org who has the resources and the ability and the willingness to try and compete at the top? Like, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say no. But I like a lot of the guys on Boston as an org on like a personal level. So it would be sad to see that no longer be a thing, I think.
I just want everyone that's in like a pretty, you know, in an organization where it's like no ambition or anything like that. I would just want everyone to make sure that the org they're in is a good org with good security and good people running it and the money backing it. That's what I would like. Not this Ravens bullshit of we're not paying Kenny's buyout.
Ravens are the worst, by the way. I know I was cooking Boston there. Ravens are by
I think Ravens are the worst org in the league by far. And I'll stand on that.
Trey knows as well.
I don't think anyone comes close. I really don't.
Even Ravens versus Paris back in the day.
Have they got better? Yeah.
Are they paying like?
Yeah, no. Listen, I never.
Like good.
I know. I know. What good? Probably not. I never had an. Listen, I never had an issue with being paid. Did I have an issue with being paid good? Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I want an organization like Rab said to have ambition, and the fact that you won't pay like Kenny's buyout of like 15K or whatever it was, which is like somewhat cheap, $20,000. You know what I'm saying, for Kenny, a world champ, whatever like that. Like. So the fact you say no to that just shows to me that you shouldn't be in this league whatsoever.
That's cheap as hell.
I don't know the
15K?
I don't know the specific amount, Don.
It would have
but
been
I heard
something
it
like
wasn't
that,
a
though,
lot.
I think.
I
Yeah.
heard it was not a lot at all.
Okay.
It was 5 figures, but it weren't a lot. Obviously, like 5 figures is a lot to the regular person, but we're talking
For an
multi-millionaire.
esports buyout, that's nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My buyout was
Especially-
higher than that in fucking 2019.
Especially-
What the fuck?
especially because like you just saw that person in CS. Was it Monzi?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
get bought for 2.5 mil.
Yeah, you could pay 15K.
Yeah,
You got
get it.
millions for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just want every organization to be able to, like, yeah, yeah, 20K, we'll pay that. 25K, yeah, we'll pay that. If it makes the team better, sure, let's fucking do it. Not this. We'll take a pay cut to get him in if you guys want. Like, that shit should never be a thing.
Yeah.
Couple of things to go through from the chat here. First of all, shout out, they call me Tim for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Shit's a vibe. It's a vibe having you here as well. We'll get to this super chat as well. If there's no buy-ins now, why can't we expand? And we'll talk about salary cap as well. I just want to quickly mention, because I saw a comment here that said, is it true? I think Hex didn't charge buyouts. You got to understand that, like, the way the contracts work now is that you can't just drop a player for free with nothing coming back the other way. You have to pay them at least a couple months extra on salary. So if you're Hex and you're dropping Kenny, you're not doing that for free. So if another org wants him now, then you're going to say, look, you got to pay what I was going to pay him for these couple of months, because, like, I'm not going to be 20K out of pocket for no reason. So pay him the salary that I was going to pay him, and that's the buyout. I think that's the way some of the teams look at it anyway.
I think that's the premise, because Hex obviously doesn't want to hold his players, but he's also not going to let them go for free, especially when they've just won champs like 7 months ago too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what do you think? Do you think Hex is dumb?
Yeah. The reason why we can't expand, like, I don't know, maybe the league's against it, maybe some of the owners are against it. My opinion is more that we've still got orgs that need to go. So, look, if we're going to expand from 12, 14 is a shit number. Fuck that. It's got to be 16. So you think we're getting 4 new orgs plus 2 orgs to buy out a couple of current teams? Probably ain't happening. Like,
Which means you've also got to pay the organization. Like, you've also got to pay the organizations more money. You've also got to pay the organizers more money for the events. You've also got to expect people to come in. You got to pay the casters more money because they're casting more games. Listen, expansion is not about that there's not people wanting to buy in. It's about COD ain't ready for the expansion. The CDL ain't ready for the expansion. That's what it is. There are teams that want to join. There's probably, I could name you 12 that probably want to join, the Saudi orgs included. But COD as an esport is not ready for Call of Duty as the league as an esport is not ready to expand. CWL was easy because it wasn't like how it is now. If you guys get what I'm saying in the chat.
I think that's the point, yeah. I know there was talk as well about a salary cap. So the salary cap existed, right? And now it doesn't exist anymore. Okay, my understanding is there was a salary cap of the first year of the league of something like 1.5 mil, which included the players and the coach.
I think it was 1.8.
1.8? Okay, yeah. So you could pay like 300K each. And I mean, to be fair, there was quite a few orgs who were probably on the cap.
Because I know London went over that salary cap by like 300K.
Oh my god, I can't believe that shit, man. That's why Clay was going to play for the team, because they actually had bread back then. It was fake money, but whatever. And then, okay, so a couple of things happened. So I think there was like a luxury tax you could pay to be over it first of all, and then they realized that the salary cap was unenforceable because there was no players union. Something about like California law required that if Activision was going to impose a salary cap in the state of California where they're based, they needed a counterparty, and because there was no players union, the salary cap was basically illegal. So I don't think it exists anymore. In the current day, it's probably not relevant massively, because I don't imagine many teams would be really pushing it.
I mean, you could also just go around the salary cap with a content creator.
This is the OpTic classic, I think. I don't buy that Scump wasn't on. My theory is that Scump was on his player salary, and then he was on his like content creator salary or whatever. I don't know. That's just a theory. But I imagine that's how they could have done it to get around it in the Huntsman days.
Listen. All I'll say is Scump definitely weren't on the same salary as everyone else in the league because that boy's Scump. He's the fuck it. Like, he is COD Esports.
Yeah.
So you think Scump was staying on that salary cap? Nice fucking try.
He had to been on a mill total.
I'd probably say so. No pocket watching, but that's what I would say. Listen, I was on a nice salary. Scump was on the same salary as me. Let's be real. Our New York team was
salary. He had to be making 5 times what I was making.
Bro, our New York team was on a good salary, bro. There was no way Scump was on
lavishly.
Hey, we were living lavish. Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sanchez says, or S411 Chez, thanks for the 5 super chat. What if COD does what Val does? Top 4 teams in champs. So in Val is different, right? Because you get the top 4 teams from each region go to the World Championship, but obviously in COD it's kind of different because you don't have the regions. He talks about Swiss stage, which is interesting. I don't know what you guys think about Swiss system, if you've ever watched like Counter-Strike majors or something. It's where you start 0-0, you play, and then the 1-0 teams play each other, the 2-0 teams play each other, and then you go from there until someone gets to 3 wins. That's an option, but again, it works best when you have like 16 teams. But it could work. I don't hate it. Hashtag Temp carried Zuma in MW19, he said as well.
That's cap. That's cap. Hack belts carried our shit for sure.
I appreciate that. So interesting. I think it could go on. Trey, you're going to say something.
No, I was just going to say facts. Like, that's what I got to say about it. Just facts.
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 Okay, so what do we think happens, right? Let's say we got 2 Saudi teams come in and Boston gets sold. I mean, maybe FaZe is even a possibility as we discussed, but let's say theoretically we get Twisted Minds, is it? I was going to say Tainted Minds because that's the old school Aussie team.
There you go.
There you go, bread like that. Twisted Minds is some other team. Actually, someone, I think I got a DM and they told me what the other Saudi team was going to be, but I don't think I got.
Listen, I just want to say this while you search for that. See if it's like, you can say it if you really wanted. But
I probably
listen,
shouldn't say it, but
I think that as soon as an organization gets a sniff that the Saudis want to come in and buy any spot possible, people are going to try and offer their spots off to get out.
All right, let me look this up.
I think there's only a few teams that would say, nah, we're going to stay in just because of that, like OpTic, Thieves, Ultra, Cloud9 because they just bought in Guerrillas. But I think if anyone gets a sniff that fucking that they can just get out of this shit, they will.
All right, I'm hearing it could be this team. So I'm hearing it may be AlQadsiah Esports. Is that right? Let me just check 1 second again.
I never heard of them in my life, but I know they could probably afford it.
So apparently these guys are like operated or owned by Aramco. So Aramco is the Saudi oil company. They sponsor and effectively own the Aston Martin Formula 1 team.
If you need a coach.
You guys remember, Trey, you remember when we were out there in Riyadh and there was that like massive circular venue where all the F1 cars were? That was like the Aramco arena, as it were. So
they got that money.
So yeah, I think this all like, they got, I think they've got a football team as well. Because like I think it's a football team and they have their esports team. Yeah. So yeah, so that's just keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Maybe premature on the leak. I could be wrong. My sources may be misinformed, but just yeah.
See, the funny thing is, it could be any Saudi org because they've all got red.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, people are saying it's a big soccer club. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So football team, they've got an esports team. It's the same that Barcelona have done. They've got their esports teams now. Like, okay, I get it. But also, they could be coming in. So we'll see if that turns out to be true.
They got Nacho. Yeah, Nacho Fernandez, Pierre. They got Aubameyang there. Yeah, they got bread.
Yeah, they got bread. Yeah, they got Aubameyang there. Wow. It's a throwback. So yeah, they got bread. Don't worry about that. They got bread. So if they were to come in and buy a team, they could mix it up. And this is, I don't want to say it gets like scary, but if I look at the league right now, there's a lot of good players in this league. But also, I like having I mean, okay, the top 4 teams in the standings are the top 4 teams of the season, no questions asked. But also you've got OpTic, world champions on there, and they're OpTic. Now, if AlQadsiah Esports come in and they drop in 500k a player, maybe more, and the Falcons, they're trying to, lay down. I don't know what this league looks like, man. I mean, on some level, it'd be exciting. But on some level, it has implications, right? Because all of a sudden, our legacy teams are no longer able to compete to some extent. And I also don't think these orgs, Falcons, they like the whole Saudi thing, right? Like they're trying to help promote that scene, keep their players as part of the academy, and have probably at least one Saudi player on the team.
Are the other one's gonna follow suit?
I don't think the other ones are gonna care. I think they're gonna be like, you know what, Simba Beezy sell 5 mil. 10 mil.
You think AlQadsiah are going to sit there and be like, you think AlQadsiah are going to sit there and be like, yo, let's try out one of the set. Nah, they're going to go out by a full squad and just start running pockets just because they want to be the best Saudi team there is. Like the best Saudi organization.
Yeah.
This shit might get gritty.
It might get gritty, but it might be difficult. I think OpTic, because they're OpTic, I mean, they should always...
Lineman said it would delay the return to Lineman said it would return the delay. It would delay the return to MOG. Listen,
because they're propping up the CDL in its current form. I do hear that actually.
I don't think we're gonna go back to MOG.
Adam Apicella's gonna try.
He's gonna try, but listen, I just don't think you can compete with what's going on.
But also, you got to recognize Adam Apicella's working for EFG DreamHack, and you guess who they're owned by? Anyone know who DreamHack are owned by? Oh yeah, it's the Saudi Public Investment Fund. So
the reason I say that is I think we're all just going to be under EWC at one point.
It's like, look, if these esports organizations and this league doesn't find better ways to monetize, then the way to monetize is Saudi Arabian investment. That is the monetization strategy.
And they've already done that.
Well, exactly. A few years ago, it was ludicrous money coming in from venture capitalists that got pissed up the wall. Shortly after that, it was crypto sponsorship, and then all that's dried up. So what's left? That's this is how it is.
Doesn't the CDL own MLG?
Yeah, they still own the rights. There's been a lot of talk actually lately about trying to get the rights out so that we can, MLG can become a thing again, because they just refuse to use the IP.
Guess who the MLG is going to be owned by then?
Well, look, it is. It basically already is.
It already is.
Yeah.
So, even if we return to MLG, we're still under Saudi investment.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's also interesting. Go on, Trei.
I was gonna say I don't think people understand how deep run it is. That it ain't what it was. Everything right now is give it a few years, it's just gonna be run by EWC, Saudis, and all that kind of stuff, because it basically already is. Even real sports, them trying to buy out people that golf players from PGA, so they go play over there instead. I think they're doing it for tennis too. They're doing it for they're getting F1 out there and everything like that. You just can't compete. You just can't.
What's crazy is that I've heard that people are talking about it now, right? But these conversations about the Saudis getting involved in COD esports specifically, and this is before they even got involved in other esports, but these conversations, to my knowledge, have been the early days of these conversations were Black Ops 3. So we're talking 9 years ago.
That's a big plan.
Was the first time that these type of conversations were starting to happen. So here we are, a decade down the line, and we're seeing how it goes. I also wonder, right? Because let's be real, if AlQadsiah come in, and I'm sorry, I'm butchering the pronunciation, but whatever. If these orgs come in and they're like, yeah, look, we want to run an event. Where are the events they run in, right? How? Because we talked about it last year and we were in Riyadh, Trei. It's look, there is a world where the players are heading out to Riyadh twice a year, maybe more, and that's not I get why that would happen. The unfortunate thing is it's just so challenging for the fans. It's so difficult for the fans. It's not on some level a good thing for the esport.
You see, I think that they would encourage more fans to come over internationally.
Hell yeah, they would, but it's still not easy to get there, especially
It's
when it's
not
a North
easy, but,
American
like,
focused esport, right?
For sure,
20
but
hour
I
flight.
think I think they would facilitate that as well, though.
I mean, that's
With
the
how-
end goal,
with-
isn't it, for the Saudis? The end goal
Yeah.
is to have people come out there for the event. So
They want to take over everything, so everyone goes to Saudi. Which I'm cool with. I'll fuck that. Listen, I like doing that.
I mean, from London, like it was, you know,
Nice
for
little 5-hour flight.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of sweet. But to get there, you know, from an esport that's predominantly North America, the players are based out there. It's obviously logistically a challenge, but it's as I say, these conversations probably started about a decade ago. Things are going to keep churning, and we'll see where we are in a decade from now, to be honest. And maybe the Saudis will
Someone
say, you know what,
said
London champs.
AlQadsiah
Yeah.
is an Overwatch and filled a mid of the pack roster. Also, it's pronounced AlQadsiah. So
Oh,
AlQadsiah.
okay. AlQadsiah. Okay, there you go. Thank you, chat.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
We're gonna have to get to know that name because we're joining them next year for we're gonna be AlQadsiah dope check.
Yeah, we got that red and yellow logo. I was going to criticize the logo with the color scheme, but I'm doing that because, you know, like it's going to be up there at some point.
Yeah. It's gonna be,
You got any thoughts, Tom, before we move on to the matches of the weekend?
Nah, honestly, bro, I am very, very uninformed. So I was just listening to y'all. Like, I didn't know none of that. Like, I don't know nothing. Like, so I don't want to just start just yapping or interrupt the conversation. It was very interesting to me. I didn't know none of that, so I'm just
a lot of it's just gonna come down to them just wanting to take over everything. They've already done it with boxing. They're gonna do it with sports. They're gonna do it with everything. That's why you see them offer contracts to superstars in football upon what no one can offer in football because it's just unrealistic. You know, people making like 800,000 a week, 1.2 million a week, just because they want to take over, and no one can compete with that. So it's going to happen in esports. It's already started happening in esports. You see Falcons spending 2.5 mil reportedly on that Monzi player from, I think it was G2.
Yeah.
Like, no one can compete with that, like, realistically. So yeah.
Well, there we have it. Okay, let's talk about what happened this weekend because we have a lot to talk about. I mean, really, I think we'll talk about a few of the key storylines. We'll roast a few teams and players, and then we'll talk about what's going to happen at the major, and then we can kind of dive into some of the more narratives as we're predicting the matches and stuff. So, yeah, I know you guys obviously read yesterday's show. You had some interesting thoughts on what was going to happen in a couple of these series.
Well, we didn't even talk about LAG. Them cats are dog.
Do you want to touch on them real quick? I mean, they got 3-1 by Toronto. They won the map 1 here. They somehow 60-point clubbed them. But unfortunately, after that, it was one-way traffic.
I mean,
There's no saving this. All gets cursed. It is what it is.
Realistically, I said this on the show, they made 3 changes and won 3 maps. So if that's what you want to deem as, you know, good changes, it is what it is. They are by far the worst team in the league. They don't compete with anyone. It's crazy to me, honestly. Yeah, they 60-point club Toronto. What did you do after that? Jack shit. You done nothing. Yeah, that's what I said to Dom. When you do things like that, that's when you got to capitalize. That's when you got to, you know, you 60-point club one of the best teams in the game, and then you come out and look like that. Honestly, there's nothing you can do. They've made changes. It ain't worked. The only change, they're just gonna go to this event. They're gonna get walked over again. They're gonna come out, lose, and you know, I'd say make changes for EWC at that point because you ain't making champs, you ain't winning Major 4. The next thing you gotta look at is EWC.
Yep.
Agreed.
Oh my bad.
Nah, you're good. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh, I was just looking and it made me sad 'cause I didn't even look at the stats for this series, but I benched Kismet. And this motherfucker had 109 kills in 4 maps. Because he was getting slant. He was playing. Who do they played 2 matches this
They
weekend?
played Thieves first.
Yeah, I'm like, they're playing Thieves in Toronto. Ain't no way I should start them, but that hurts my soul. I lost my fantasy 1 and 2. I don't think I'm making playoffs, but I mean, yeah, there's nothing really much to talk about. LAG, they're done. They're done for. they're not even like interesting to watch to me.
Is Gataga, does Gataga even still watch their matches?
I have no idea.
I
see them just. I see them just blowing.
Yeah, let me check. Yo, can someone in
point.
the chat? Can someone in the chat tell me if Gataga still watches their matches, or
I
he just said,
reckon he
"Nah,
does.
fuck it,
I
I give up."
reckon he does, bro. I reckon he does. It's free viewership, I guess. But yeah, it is kind of tragic. But I also agree. Like, I don't even care to watch them, right? So the unfortunate thing is, it is coming down to the wire for some of these guys' careers. Like, realistically, is Fellow getting another chance after this season? Is Luna's getting another chance after this season? Luna's maybe has a chance. I mean, both of those guys have a chance just because Fellow keeps developing talent in challenges and they're vouching to get picked up. So I do get it. But yeah, it's a challenge.
Listen, the last time I watched Gataga stream, he was just laughing about how bad his team was.
Yeah.
You remember that skyline where he was like,
I
"Oh,
do.
free debt. Oh, we've been broke again. Oh shit."
It's just like, okay, so like my question for those players is like, it's basically the situation that I viewed myself. Like, I realistically, I could have just said fuck it and been okay where I was at and re-signed with Vegas and tried to just draw out the same scenario. But like, as a competitor, like, I feel like I'm a true competitor. As a competitor, how long can you go through that cycle? Like, oh, you're in challengers, you win challengers, and then you fucking go back to the league. When you go back to the league, you're gonna join a bottom 4 team. Like, he's had I'm pretty sure, didn't Fellow get picked up on Empire at one point? Like, that's
in Cold War.
the time where, like, yeah, that's the time where you're fucking praying to get, like, holy fuck, like, you somehow got on Empire from Challenger or whatever his situation was.
He was on
that's
the bench,
the time
but
where
yeah.
it's like, turn that situation up. Now you can be on the top 4, top 6 team. Like, I feel like that's your goal in the league, right? Like, obviously we want money and a good contract and things of that nature, but you want to be on the higher end. So then once you start to fall from the higher end, then you can slip down to motherfucking top 6 team, then the top 8 team, then okay, now you're on your way out. You don't want to just only be in 8 through 12 every single time you get a chance. Like, that's just so. That was my mindset. It's like, okay, yeah, I can stay on the worst team in the league if I really want to, but I'm losing composure because I'm on the minimum. Sure, even if I resign, I would have got 100K. Yes, that is nice. That would have been more than I made that year. So yes, that's probably bad business decision. But at the same time, how long is it going to last? What if I took the 100K that year and then I'm out the league the next year? How long is it going to last in the cycle of you just losing? Like, you're just always losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just my mindset, which obviously if you're a challengers player, take the opportunity to join the league. But once you get to, like, you want to get past that threshold. Like, it's like a plateau. Like you're lifting weights. To get past the plateau when you lifting weights, you got to look up, do some shit, try some different fucking exercises. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I tried to do. Did it work? Probably not. But I'm just saying, I just feel like that cycle, that plateau is like the worst shit on your mental. Like, he just wins challenger, then he's gonna get dropped. Say Fellow gets dropped, he goes back to challengers, he wins again. Who the fuck does he join? Goddamn, Vegas Falcons next year, maybe. I don't know. Oh, whoever's the worst team. I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah, no, I hear you, but you're right. So I'm saying,
what
right,
can you do to get past that?
If I'm okay, this is a strategy, right? If you're Fellow, you're talking to, you're networking with. I'm networking with Dahum, Wixel, King of Body, the Saudi boys. So then when AlQadsiah, when they come in and they decide, you know what, actually, we do want a bit of Saudi representation, and they hit up the best Saudi players, then they're vouching for Fellow. They're like, yo, Fellow, IGL, veteran, we need him in. Falcons got Clay, we need our man.
They're like, yo, he's been helping us out a lot.
Hell yeah.
He's been helping us out a lot. That Tyler guy, Tyler Fellow is his name, AlQadsiah. I think we need
those
to
guys
offer
don't
him.
know English though, do they?
Fellows
They do now.
got to learn Arabic,
Guys,
buddy.
so all right, learn Arabic. It's time to learn Arabic, man. Okay.
The only way out.
Fellows
Don,
going
the only way out.
Listen, that's what. Hey Don, what was said back in the day when you wanted a team? You had to start arse licking. You had to get yourself in there.
Yeah.
Now's the time. We got to get locked in with the Saudis.
Everyone enabled says
Okay.
that's what Asim is doing on the academy team. I actually maybe I hadn't thought about that. And obviously Asim has he's Muslim, right? So it maybe makes a bit more sense for them. But also I hear it, right? Maybe that's the play. Maybe that's what Asim's playing at right now. Asim's down there, he's playing with the Falcons Academy. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's down there networking,
Bro,
man.
I can't take this serious.
Nah,
bro.
I mean, I fuck with it. I think he knows what he's doing. He's definitely thought about that.
I think we walk away from the conversation and just go, "Hey guys, we lost last map, but it's all good though, boys. It's all good. We'll get them next time. Don't worry
Alhamdulillah,
about
we'll get
it.
them
Yeah,
next
I got
time.
it, bro.
Inshallah."
Said hop on Duolingo, buddy.
Hell yeah, buddy. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we've roasted that team enough. I don't want to talk about them anymore. I don't like them. I don't care.
I didn't want to give. I didn't want to talk about. Them.
We gave them too much airtime, unfortunately.
We did.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because if you want to hate, generational hate, you've got to hate. But also, the less time you give
I'm also
them,
I'm also just kicking people while they're down at that point.
yeah,
0-5, 3 map wins. You ain't do shit.
See you next time, buddy. Okay, we got to do ROKKR because this team is fraudulent. So they played one game against our favorite team, Miami Heretics, and Heretics they got a good dub this weekend against ROKKR. They obviously lost to Toronto. I did see your tweet, Trey. You were a little back and forth with our boy Method Sick. Don't reckon he's in the chat today. He might be in the chat. If it was a 2-0 weekend, he was definitely going to be in the chat.
That's what I like about it. I said some dumb shit before about methods, when we had that back and forth, and respect to him for still interacting with me. He didn't go block me. We had a little rustle, tussle, whatever you want to call it, back and forth about it. Now we just laugh and joke. Yeah, he done the smoking cigarettes emoji. So when they lost, I done it back, and then when they won, he done it back, and I like that kind of stuff. It shows a bit of fun, and you can also you can also banter with the Spanish a lot too. You can laugh and joke with them. I done the same with Real in Dallas. So
yeah,
But talking about ROKKR, I told Don on the pre-show because we were speaking about him. I'm done supporting them until they do something. I give them the benefit of the doubt every single time. I was every time they played someone, I'm voting ROKKR. They're gonna get a win. And I said it on our pre-show. They are better without Pool, but they're getting the same results. So are they really better without Pool? They look better when they play, but they get the same exact results. So right now it's just coming down to them not being able to clutch up, lack of composure. But it doesn't matter if you win 3. It doesn't matter if you lose 3-2, 3-1, 3-0. You're still lost. It's still an L, and you don't get your 10 points. So at the end of the day, really and truthfully, how much better have you got? So for them, they're gonna have to do bits at this LAN. They're going in as a dark horse. They're gonna have to do bits, and if they don't, Champs is looking pretty fucking slow.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, and I kind of went in depth on a play that I really, really did not fucking like, and I still don't like it, so I'll try to go over it quickly. It was a protocol, and ROKKR just pieced them on the P3 really badly. I don't know how the kill wasn't traded, honestly, but I mean, things happen. They rotate, they keep composure, they rotate to the P4, the underground hill. They played a tight setup where me and Trey, I was like, Gio was watching the flank from bottom zip, and then Nero was in the left corner, Ken, and I don't know where Estriel was. I think Estriel and Ken were both in the hill. And I just feel like in a scrim or a non-pressure situation, the guy watching the flank there can definitely watch it from top mid. He doesn't need to play tight, especially because they rotated at 27 seconds when the P3 was still up. So they can definitely have a guy top windows, mid windows, lurk and see if anyone's trying to take a route, play the kill, then flank big door. Like Trey, you said, the guy after he gets a kill on the bench, he can flank big door so that someone's active on the setup. Instead, Gio's just watching the flank, which he is watching the flank, but to me, he's watching nothing because he's just literally in the corner watching zip. So Kenny's jumping. I don't know where Estriel was, but Kenny's just jumping up and down on the computer, big door, they're on me, big door. And literally no one is moving. And then they lose that setup when they rotated early. and then it was just done. Like it was in a listening too. So like that's why I was like so focused on what was happening. It was a listening.
Yeah, I just brought it up.
It sounded to me like it was over. Like as soon as that happened, it was over. Like Nero literally was just like he did the same thing, kind of. I don't know. Like I've been noticing him doing it. He did the same thing in the S&D. Remember when I was like complaining that where the like Dashy just shot him? He just like sitting there. Like Nero did the same thing. He was just like sitting there, and then the guy just threw a nade from Spiral and just broke the hill. Like it was just so like I don't feel like they would mess that up like normally. Like I don't. It was just so weird to me.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these fundamentals go down the drain too. Like, you know, when I was playing, it was always if you're holding the pinch, you can push out the pinch because you're still watching.
Especially if you lost the old hill by like 27 seconds. Like,
yeah, go push it out, you know, and then if you make that kill on the pinch, then you hit something else. Yeah, go be more annoying. Go do what you need to do. Yeah, so, I feel like old ROKKR used to make those plays though, Don. And I'm not saying Kenny came in and like changed that. I'm just saying like that's just how they were. It's like going back to that S&D play that he's saying against that 1v1 against Dashy, like Nero sitting in a corner, like what are we doing there? It's the same play in this. It's the same play in this hardpoint. You can make yourself more useful by still watching the same thing. It's just after you've watched it, you can go do something. The perfect example I said to Dom was you can just go push it out. If you make the kill, you can go hit something else. If he doesn't come there, guess what? You can go hit what is going to help your teammates out. You push that out, make the kill, then you're free. You know no one's pinching. You push it out, you still know no one's pinching, and if they go and hit something else and your teammate needs help, guess what? You can go flank that. You can be more useful on the map. I just feel like they're not helping each other out. They're not being more useful to each other. And like you said, Don, like after they lost that, it just sounded like they lost because that was
it was over.
It was their go-to, like, you know, this is how we're gonna get back into the game. This is how we're gonna win the game or whatever like that. And it didn't work out, so then they just defeated. Like they just weren't coming back.
Yeah. And so like another thing is too, like they literally could have made their life so much easier if they just won like one series they should have won or two series they should have won. Because now I'm pretty sure if you pull up the bracket, they play the loser of Ravens.
They do, yeah. They play Thieves or Ravens.
He's just gonna run over Ravens. So they're playing Ravens guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, this is their way out of their fucking death trap they put themselves in.
They actually have like an okay bracket.
Miami looks good though. That's what I'm saying. The second series versus Miami is their chance. If they lose, that is over with.
Well, yeah.
So I
mean, I'd prefer to be on the other side. I'd prefer to be where they are than where they could be, but
their first two games should be Ravens guaranteed. Because look at what Thieves did to Ravens yesterday. That was literally a pub stomp. Ravens, and then Miami lose to Toronto, and then Miami beat who did Miami play in losers? LAG.
Yeah, it's LAG.
Because you don't want Miami to beat Toronto because that's plus 30. You know, any win from the top side and winners, that's plus 30 points.
Yeah.
So if Miami beat Toronto, Miami's probably guaranteed champs. Whoever wins from OpTic and Breach, they're guaranteed champs. That's plus 30 points.
Boston for sure, huh? OpTic, like it would still guarantee, but yeah, exactly.
If it's plus 30, it's plus 30, OpTic's at 160.
Yeah, which
they
should get it after that.
Yeah.
You remember what I said as well? Like, you're gonna remember these losses that people are having, like Kenny dying round 11 to an RCXD. Like, that could have changed the projection for them making champs, and now they're on the verge of not making it because teams are just gonna overtake them on points, for example. Like, let's say, because Miami have got a good chance to beat Ultra. They're not a bad team. Ultra a good-looking team. Miami are a good-looking team. Last time they played,
if Miami win that, they're on 170. I mean, we don't know what the cutoff's going to be. I've not seen Doug Leaves' analysis on it, but like we were guessing 175, 180 would probably be enough.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we guessed 180.
Yeah, we guessed 180. So we'll see. But like, so basically, if Miami, it means that ROKKR are like 70, 80 points away.
And then that's what I'm saying is, you're going to be kicking yourself. You're not going to be able to sleep because of one singular play that should never have been made.
Yeah.
And like, that's what hurts the most as a competitor.
I mean, the Ravens loss was just so tough as well in hindsight, especially because they're probably going to play the Ravens. And also the annoying thing for ROKKR is that because they lost so many round 11s and game 5s, just one win would have got them in. Like their map count was
The
good
winners,
enough.
Yep.
Like
That's why they're 9 seed. Yep.
Any map win would have got them in.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So I don't want to say OpTic got blessed exactly, but they kind of got blessed in the end by everything.
I mean, now it's looking scary because, in my opinion, Ravens, Surge, Ultra, Thieves, FaZe, all guaranteed champs. That's a lock for me.
Yeah.
All locked. So now there's only 3 spots. And the 3 spots are being occupied by Breach, who are 150.
Breach just had a mega stage, man. Like they actually iced
They
up.
did.
Obviously, the Toronto
Breach are
series
guaranteed
helped.
champs, bro. Breach are gonna make champs at this point.
But like 150 is it's tough to stop them from there.
So now you got to think, yeah. Breach are on 150, Heretics 140. Both of those teams are good in form. We'll talk about Breach being a little bit lackluster versus Falcons, but they still came back. Texas are the only ones that you could sit there and be like, shit, that is not looking good. But the best thing about it is for Texas is, yeah, they ain't looking good, but guess who ain't looking good under them? Every other fucking team. So right now, the 8 that's in right now, that the 8 that are like the cutoff between Texas and Cloud9, because let's keep it real, Cloud9 are looking terrible too. This 8 right now, we can talk about it looking close, but it ain't looking crazy close because everyone that's below OpTic right now is sucking ass.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I think the question on Kenny, the big one is, see, we'd talk about what Kenny brings to the team and stuff. Kenny didn't need to come back. If Kenny didn't want to come back, he didn't have to. He could have stepped out for the rest of the year, come back next year. Does this decision for Ken to come back bite him or not? There's a lot to say on that, obviously, because if some of the Saudi orgs come in, it probably doesn't matter. They'll give him a bag and it makes sense. But in the grand scheme of like Kenny's stock, it's obviously not going to help him if he goes to ROKKR and they still don't make champs.
Right. I mean, I personally wanted him to wait a little bit, but I mean, he really wanted to play, so I respect that. Like that was the same thing when I was in the same situation. I wanted to play, so I just joined pairs. But obviously, ROKKR's not as bad as me joining pairs. But I feel like the thing is it just depends on how you view it because I feel like he's come to the team and played well. Besides the last series, people were fucking roasting him again. This is the Kenny we know and shit like that. But besides the last series, he's played really well, and the team has looked good. Like they are 1-4. They could have been 4-1, like easily 4-1. It just depends on how you look at it. Like if you look at it the way Trei is saying that, like, yeah, they're just because they are like what you're saying isn't wrong. They are the same. The same results are happening. Just because you're losing 3-2 and not 3-1, you're still losing, right? Like the same results are still happening.
They look way better. They just keep losing.
Yeah, they look better. It's just they just keep fucking choking, and it's like, what series y'all say, the C9 one or the Ravens one? Like the Ravens one, T just drops 40 map 4. Like, yeah. God damn, baby, someone trade T's, we get a free series win. Slasher has a 0.5 that series and we lost. The C9 one, it looked like C9 was ready to give up, and then like we're laughing when Geo's fucking dropping a donut for the win, and then we just lose. Like, that was the day when I was pissed. I'm like, why are we laughing? Like, what the fuck? We gotta allow. I don't know if we need more intensity or what. Like, we should not be getting 2-0, choke a 2-0 lead versus C9. Like, what?
Not even just C9, a compromise C9.
A compromise.
They have to make a right. Like, what the fuck? Like, this team should have been at even 3-2, 2-3. They would have made winners, like you said. It's just they're just in such a tough situation, and now their fate is not only in there. Like, they have to pray that, like what I said happens. They have to pray Ravens lose, which Ravens just got 3-0 by Thieves. So they should feel comfy about playing Ravens first round. They have to beat Ravens, which they did look shit yesterday. Maybe is Thieves that godlike or Raven shit?
I think Thieves are that godlike, but also, yeah, I think there's an integration period for Rex.
They have to beat Ravens and Miami. They have to pray Miami lose and then get top 6 at least.
Yeah.
If I'm ROKKR right now, my only hope is that you got to hope OpTic still continue to do bad. Because Boston
and
looked
OpTic
good.
have to do bad. Yes, you're right.
Boston looked good and Miami looked good. So off the bat, and we were like, right, listen, I hope those teams lose, but if they don't, it's expected. They're doing very well right now. Whatever. Now you got to look at OpTic and be like, right, OpTic's our only people that are in the way right now. So you want to hope OpTic lose. So then you look at the bracket, you think, go on.
Another question: if OpTic lose, who do they play? Like, who does the loser of OpTic Boston play?
They play
This
the
shit all
Vegas
matters, though,
Falcons,
now, 'cause
baby.
when you're
They play
behind.
the Vegas Falcons.
All right, so now I'm handing Falcons players pocket beans on the side too. Like, y'all gotta run it down. Whoever lose that series,
Bro, Preds does not need any more motivation.
So listen,
Falcons
this is what
gotta slam their shit. Whoever-
so this is what I'm gonna say about ROKKR before we start talking about any other teams, all right? So you look at it like this: OpTic are not doing very well right now. They're the close series versus ROKKR. Went to the fucking wire. They smoked Cloud9, lost to everyone else. They're 30 points ahead of ROKKR. Then you got to sit there and be like, shit. All right. If I'm ROKKR, OpTic and ROKKR pretty much have the exact same last 5 matches for Major 4.
Yeah, they played similar teams as well.
So if we're chalking up Texas, let's say they get double first rounded, and then ROKKR get rounded 2, then you're 30 points behind. Texas play Surge, Breach, Ravens, LAG, Toronto. Guess who ROKKR play? Falcons, LAG, Ultra, Ravens, Surge. So then, listen, to make champs for them too, if they don't do very well this event, which, you know, isn't going to look likely because they just keep choking, I still got them as dark horses. Those matches for those teams are going to be insane. It's pretty much a head-to-head for the last 8th spot if Miami and Boston keep doing well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild if it's like OpTic versus Kenny for that last spot. But it's still on.
Let me just say this. If Cloud9 make a change or they somehow get over this like chalked mentality, listen, I've said it, that 5 points could also mean a shit ton, because if they do well and OpTic don't do well, or a team falls off like Heretics and Boston, you know, those 5 points, they can make or break you for champs. So it's going to see, I think we're going to see maybe a couple more roster changes after this event if things don't go so well for some teams. Just because. I also think Cloud9, with Sib saying his dream team was to play on OpTic, probably wasn't the best thing to say. Did you bring that clip up yesterday, or did you? I didn't. No, I didn't.
I got it.
It's probably not. It's probably not the best thing to say when you're mid-season trying to fight for champs and your team's a little bit chalky, and you know, it's probably not the greatest thing to say. But you know, everyone's got dreams and aspirations. I've seen football players do it before, where they said, "My dream is, you know, playing for Real Madrid," and you play for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
You know, he said it mid-season. I thought it was the off-season.
Nah,
didn't he say it like a few days ago?
Maybe this
is it a few days ago.
Maybe this is an old clip, but I mean, it got.
I swear it was an old. I swear he said it in off-season.
Maybe an old clip. I mean, this was a clip
this was on Black Ops 6, no?
Yeah, I think this is BO6, right? I mean, I talked about it in a video the other day, so I'll just play the clip real quick so people can hear.
Spot. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I mean, my viewers know this is.
Oh no, this is very old clip.
Very old clip.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I swear I seen that.
Very old clip. No, someone just retweeted it. Very old clip. Never mind. Talk what I'm saying.
I also thought I had seen it before, but like, it's still kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's still kind of relevant, like given what's happening right now with.
Eliminate everything I just said. He said it in September the 11th, 2024. I don't know why someone. I don't know why someone tweeted out and it came from my timeline. You moron.
Good tweet though. Good video. But yeah, okay, beginning of the season, yeah. I mean, I still, like, it still makes sense. And, I mean, I guess we'd talk C9, right? Because they're the other team in this convo. Brother. Look at their run. They got 3-0'd by OpTic, 3-0'd by Thieves, 3-0'd by Boston, 3-2'd by Surge, who have been looking a little bit shakier, but I think, you know, they're kind of playing with their food a little bit. They're trying to expand their map pool. And they beat ROKKR 3-2. Like, that... If there's not a more embarrassing picture for ROKKR than this, like everyone beats them, but they somehow find a way to lose. It's actually pretty embarrassing, especially the manner in which it happened as well was rough. But getting reverse swept by C9, this is a painful series. We talked about that before, but like C9, is there any hope? Because they played 2 games this weekend. There was a lot of talk going into it that they might need to make a change. I know you mentioned as well roster changes after this event, and I think that gains a bit more credence because I think that the rosters are locked before Major 4, even into the World Cup this year. I think that's the plan. So whatever your team is a Major 4, that's your champs team, and that's your World Cup team, I think. So, you know.
Before you go on about that, you know who Cloud9 play, right? First round of the Major without looking.
They play...
Sturge or FaZe.
Oh, yeah, they do, yeah.
Damn.
So they might not be sniffing some points.
But this is they get what they deserve, because the worse you place, all of a sudden you start getting difficult first round games. Like, it's, you know.
Yeah.
So, wow. But it's pretty brutal for this team. This series was especially bad. Like, you can't be getting 3-0 clowned on by Boston like this. As much as I like Boston, if you're letting Purge to a 1.5 on your head, there's something deeply wrong.
Well, I thought we was about to see Boston get compromised the other day, but they came back and showed some grit and some tenacity.
Well, against the Falcons?
Yeah.
Falcons are solid enough, but like, yeah, that was.
Listen, my finish point on Cloud9 is the team's a little bit compromised. You know, they've got a tough round 1 coming up in the losers bracket. They play Surge or FaZe. If they don't win that, you know, it might be time to look for a roster change, because, you know, you're not out the champs running, and if you want to make champs, like, I just feel like the team's compromised. Like we said before, they already trialed Cap. You know, shout out Don for the trusted source of Cap.
It's good sources, Don.
It was a great source. The man himself, that is the source. So, you know, maybe they bring him in. You know, it's just a shame to see what's happened to this team, because they was on a good run for a little bit. But it's like you said, this team could also be 0-5.
They should be 0-5.
Yeah, with the way ROKKR choked against them. So, you know,
let's go, Doug.
We got Doug in the chat. Let's go.
That's
We're big fans of Boston over here.
Hell yeah, we're big fans of Boston.
By the way, the source was not Cap. It was my other duo. By the way.
Okay.
Shout out that one.
It was my other duo. It was not Cap. Cap said, "What the hell?" It was not Cap. It was my other duo. But,
Cap was giving nothing away by that comment, by the way, as well. He was giving nothing away.
Bro, this team, I feel like they're in an even worse spot now, because Mac is not playing good either. So, like, who the fuck, like, do you drop both of them? You drop Attach and Mac?
That's
like,
what people have been saying now. It's like, do they need a 2-man move? If it's, looking like that. Oh, exactly. Who do you get for a 2-man move? And this is
maybe
the
they
issue.
get Vivid?
Vivid?
I mean, I guess at this point it might be worth a go.
Hey,
Vivid and Krem would be, run it back, I guess.
Like, does Vivid hop in there and make the team, like, fucking crazy good? And not particularly.
Did Vivid and Krem play for Boston at the same time together? Because, like, that team made so many changes a couple of years ago.
Vivid and Boston, you know, is a very vivid memory for me. Excuse the pun, because I don't really remember him playing for Boston that all too well.
I mean, Doug will know. Well, I'm going to look up some of the tournaments here.
Crazy.
Yeah, they did play together. They played together Major 5 of MW3, and they placed top 12. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, congratulations. You know, maybe not the best tenure for Vivid and Kremp on the same team, but it was Wake, Beans, Vivid, and Kremp.
Also a different player right now.
No, I agree. They turned up to that event. They started in losers. Oh, no, they started in winners. They got beaten 3-2 by Minnesota Rocket. They went down to losers. They got 3-1 by the London Royal Ravens. What a team that was. Oh, you weren't on the team back then, Trey.
I wasn't. Nah, I wasn't.
You were long run at that point.
Yeah, that team was ass too.
They got bopped out the next round, though, 3-0 by Thieves, so, you know, no stress.
Wouldn't have got 3-0 to me.
But yeah, C9 making for Vivid solving Cloud9's problems, I highly, highly doubt. Yeah, Doug.
Oh, Rab, I want your take on this as well, because we had this little take on the pre-show just before we get into more teams, because we're talking about and Snoopy popped up. It was the most improved player, and it was between JoeDeceives, Nasty, Snoopy, and Neptune. And I already ruled out Neptune because it's not like he was improved. He was already in the league. He came in and just smoked them. And then I said my thing was it's Snoopy because he's been getting ridiculed ever since he joined the league, and now he's like a top 5 sub in the game.
Yeah.
And then Donny came out and said it's JoeDeceives because he got dropped, was in challenges, came back, started frying for LA Thieves. Now he's looking like one of the best subs in the game as well. And then Nasty also gets a shout because of how well he's been playing on Surge, and start of the year he wasn't great, but now he's he's frying with the team. I mean, it could be any 3 of those. The only reason I said Snoopy is because everyone was ridiculing him, saying he wasn't league ready, and maybe at the time he wasn't, but he still managed the hate and everyone clowning him.
So we're talking like most improved from last year to this year?
I was just saying most improved because that's the reason I said Snoopy is because, like I said, he could have taken everyone's criticism and just like became nothing, became a dud, but instead now he's become a fucking superstar.
I think it's JoeDeceives on that tenure, because I think I don't know. I think Joe's he's a top player now. Like he really is. So, and I think with Snoop, he's got better for sure. He's got a lot better, but I kind of always thought he was pretty good. I don't think.
I mean, we said he was mechanically gifted, but if you listen, I remember when he came into the league on MW3.
Yeah,
everyone would.
No, I agree,
everyone.
And it's not like he didn't deserve all the criticism, but
no, for sure. But the fact he just took it all, everyone roasting him, everyone, and I don't just mean it was Ace. I mean literally everyone. Fans, everyone he doesn't know what he's doing. You don't know spawns. You don't know this. You don't know that. And he just came out and he's just been tucking ever since. It's been insane.
No, 100%. But also Joe. I mean, Joe last year got dropped for Afro, basically.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why it's a good conversation.
I mean, Afro is also class. So it wasn't. I didn't necessarily disagree with the decision at the time because I also rate Afro, but obviously it was the right call. They brought Joe back. They got better and better. But Joe was great at the end of last year, but he, not as good as he looks now. And Snoopy has been excellent this year too. It's a debate. I think Nasty's not. I think Nasty's not completely out of the convo either. Honestly, though, as I said before, I was talking with Ryan, who was performance coach in that Thieves team last year and is still working with the team this year. And he said that at some point towards the end of last year, the team really clicked into gear. Obviously with Ghosty, Kremp, JoeDeceives, Nasty, that team of 4, they really clicked into gear in terms of, okay, we are going to, do everything that we need to do from a mentality perspective to try and make ourselves the best players we can be, perform at our top level. And it clearly worked for them at the end of last year. And we're having this convo about most improved players. I mean, Kremp's not far off the convo either, let's be real. So you've got, that's 3... That's 3 of the 4 Thieves players from last season that we're talking about. So clearly something was in the water over there.
I'm just looking at it as someone that's been down in the dumps type thing. Nasty to me was never really down in the dumps in that aspect. He was just a bit inconsistent on the other rosters, and that don't help the fact that the other rosters he was on wasn't great. My London roster and Vanguard, that's where we all showed our true potential as a core 4. We were a good team and we all helped each other, and then after that Vanguard team, that's when you saw inconsistencies because the teams were inconsistent, the players were inconsistent. London as the org was inconsistent, which made everyone else inconsistent. So the reason I don't really Nasty's not in the discussion for me in that aspect is he's improved, but he's always been a shooter. He's always been up there. He's just been inconsistent with the bad teams he's been on.
I thought Nasty was a top. I put him in my easy Mac top 20 in MW2 because I thought he was class on a terrible Ravens team, and he was good the year before too.
I got nothing but gas for him, and that's not just because he's one of my good friends. It's just genuinely ever since I played with him on Vanguard, I was yeah, this guy's got it.
Yeah, so I think he's real good, but I don't think Nasty's got crazy better over the last couple of years. I think he's got better, but I also think
he's just always been
he's just always been pretty good, yeah.
He's just always been on a shit team, just getting fucking slammed. And then the reason I didn't say Neptune is because he got dropped, but no one was ever talking about him he was fucking dog shit.
It's difficult to judge Neptune, really.
And then Neptune just came in on this team and just fucking started slamming. So that's the reason I don't really say he's most improved. And then the reason Joe and Snoopy is just because Snoopy was getting ridiculed for so long, came in, started frying, and then Joe was obviously on the bench, went to challenges and came back for EWC and just started smoking everyone. So I don't think there's any wrong answer. I just think that those two are like solidified for me for this year.
It's a good discussion, gentlemen.
I'll go, Joe.
Let's do OpTic Texas. We got to talk about them. I'm fed up. So they played 3 games in the last couple of weekends. They lost to Miami, they lost to Falcons, and then yesterday they played FaZe. They turned up against FaZe. I saw some FaZe fans joking about this too. They rocked up with the championship whites. They were like, you know what? Online series against FaZe on Sunday. It's
On
time
Sunday?
to on Sunday. Yeah, it's time to bring out the white jerseys, maybe. And maybe they always do this. I don't know. I think they actually might. I think they've definitely done this before. But they were like, you know what? We're locking in. We're locking in. And game 1, they locked in. Abizi goes 12-25. FaZe continue to kind of struggle in the respawns. Look, I know we can give our comments on FaZe and the respawn and what they're going to do. At the end of the day, FaZe have done this so many times that the online qualifiers, it's almost impossible to pretend they matter for FaZe because they'll go 3-2, they'll turn up to LAN, and they'll make the finals. So, you know, I don't know. Until I see evidence that FaZe actually look shaky online and turn up to LAN and also look shaky, because I've like never seen evidence of that, it's almost impossible to read too much into it from the FaZe angle. But you certainly can read into it from the OpTic angle. And I mean, look, you guys can probably dive into a few details. I think this round 11 from the Hassie search, we got to talk about this, right? So I've got it up I've got it up on the stream here. We've got 45 seconds on the clock. The bomb's just gone down. We've got a full, clean 4v4 retake on the A-bomb site. And Skies has a streak. He's got a streak, and he called it in, I think, with about 30. So, I mean, even the way that OpTic approached this is he called it early. Look, I'm not saying you can totally rely on using it to kill the guy off the bomb because they can shoot out the sky, trophies, whatever.
Right.
But, like, calling it in with 35 seconds left is probably a mistake. So I'll just let you guys give your thoughts on this round and I'll play it in the background.
My first thoughts is that shit was so bad, it literally made no sense. Caesar called the streak. I assume he's a pro player. He definitely called out everybody on the other team, at least like a general area. And then Ant, I'm not even looking at the play. This is just off of memory. Ant just ran out bottom mid door to P1.
Yeah, and he got shot by a BZ from top
by himself. And Kyler, like if they're gonna hit something out with the info, I can understand that concept. Go together. You know where they are. Double team something. Then don't. I just feel like bottom mid, like that literally made no sense. They can all stay alive from the hallways. So like him calling the streak is not gonna force them out of bottom fire or bottom office, whatever you want to call it, in the top windows. Like he literally is like, it literally made no sense. Like I have no clue what he thought there, honestly. Like it made no sense. Like they have to wait for the streak. Like they can't do anything. Like they're probably, FaZe are probably thinking God, like, okay, they just called the streak. We're all safe. Let's just wait a second. Once we get our like shit together, we're gonna gather up and try to retake. He didn't even wait for the play to like develop or anything. Like he just ran out. He just literally blacked the fuck out. Like I don't, unless he like can explain it, I have no, to me it makes literally no sense. Like the only way I didn't hear Caesar's call out or I misunderstood the call out. Like it literally makes no fucking sense at all.
And you know what makes no sense to me is the fact that, listen, it's all hindsight at this point, but they've planted the bomb on that side of the map, correct? On FaZe's side of the map.
They have, yeah.
All right.
You can't even really see it from top mid.
No. Listen. I don't understand how, like, this is just coming from hindsight, but I feel like this is just going to work out 10 times out of 10, and I feel like all the pro players in the world would agree with me. His bomb's planted on their side of the map. Sky's causing his streak. They know one guy's in tin. The bomb's planted for fucking tin. The guy in tin can't be watched over by anyone else. So why the fuck would you guys not fly at the guy tin, guarantee a 4v3, and then you've got control of that map, then the guy top plat has to come and look for you, and the people that are pinching and stuff like that you've called out on your streak because you see them, then have to rush to make a play. All 4 of you are still alive. You've got numbers advantage. Instead, Shotzzy's gone out top mid when guess what? Caesar's probably called him out top mid because that's the only place they can hide from a streak from realistically.
Bottom mid.
Yeah, he ran out bottom mid. That was the crazy thing.
Bottom mid, sorry. Bottom mid.
Yeah, so
Either or, he still ends up like outside mid, right? But they've called in a streak. Why the hell have they not pushed out with the streak and killed that guy in tin? He's by himself. He can't do nothing. That's a guaranteed 4v3.
It's actually a really good
planted
point.
On your side.
I think in these situations, like I don't think OpTic have like a play call here, right? I think if you're any pro team, you've got to have a strat where you think, okay, if we have a streak, what's the strat? If we go away and get the bomb down, what are we going to do when we call the streak in? And I don't know if they have that strat, but it didn't seem like they had a strat. Because, yeah, you can see Draz and who's this next to him? I mean, one of them, they called in the streak, and then number one runs away, number 2 runs away. Yeah, obviously they have to leave Selim on his own.
Skies could have hit the car and waited till they were like called out on the bomb. They could have all pushed back to spawn. Someone watches pinch, and then Skies could have waited with his car, called out how many were next to bomb. Guess what? Then calls in a streak. Guaranteed kills on the bomb. Guaranteed kills around the bomb. Even OpTic can push out if they really want to. There's so many things they could have done. Instead, they made the most. Right now, it's probably the most OpTic Texas play of all time.
I don't understand how this org like finds ways to lose.
Honestly, I say it's all hindsight. It really isn't hindsight. That should just be the play. Someone makes Sky should be in the street going, one guy tin, go push him out.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to play it. Like I don't mind playing for like close there too, like where Kyler like went towards because he got it for free. I just wanted whatever they do. If they want to push 10, if they want to push close, whatever the fuck they do. Because Hook and Shotzzy were the two that were wrapped out mid, and then Brandon, someone in the chat said Brandon got gunned. Brandon did get fucking shit on.
He did get gunned, yeah. But it doesn't matter at that point, to be honest.
Yes, you can't control. Sometimes you're going to get fucking shit on, right? That is, like, obviously that's bad. Like, get the fucking kill next time. But there's nothing to correct in that situation because 9 times out of 10, he's head glitching the fucking fence box. He should get that kill.
Even if he does, if he gets it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't actually affect the round because he would have got traded and then they still would have lost. So they got to pick 1v1.
5-5 bomb down their side of the map. You've called in a streak and you've not done anything with the streak.
Together.
The other annoying thing for me is like when they re-wrapped mid.
You just gave them all control with a streak. It makes no. What's the point? It just makes no sense. And then you go to watch the bomb from top.
I also hate how Shotzzy and Hook just separated here. Like
that's my biggest thing is that they separated. That was
to watch the bomb from top mid, and guess what? You can't even see the fucking bomb from top mid. So what are we doing?
I don't.
It just runs out bottom mid. That to me makes literally no sense. I don't
he saw Simp. He saw Simp go bottom. That's what it was. He caught a glimpse of Simp. I think cutting.
Oh, he saw.
Maybe he didn't. Is Simp up top here though? I'm trying to figure it out because I thought
I'm behind.
I thought he saw Simp go bottom like U or whatever, right? Like in the cut through to A. But I think Sim actually might be up top here because there's no Sim's up top, so he didn't see him. I don't know what he saw. I don't know why he did that.
He didn't see nothing.
Yeah, he didn't see anything. He just ran out there. Yeah, Sim was up top. I don't understand. And then who goes in a different way? Oh my god!
I just don't get it. This is what I'm saying. They could have done anything. They could have done anything as long as they played together. The only thing.
Shotzzy could also full wrap the map. Like the streak delays them quite a long way. You can full wrap.
This is what we called on. This is what we call the only way you could have lost that map is how you played that round, and they could have played it any other way, and that's the only way they could have lost the game. And
JP said it was a miscom that made Shotzzy look bad. I don't really like this idea of it was a miscom. I don't think that's a valid excuse to me because unless he heard some, exactly. First of all, why did the miscom happen? Second of all, is there any? Could you still justify that play? I mean, look, I don't know what was said, but like, come on.
Yo, Don, I know exactly what you're thinking, bro.
Hit me, Don.
I mean, the only calm is the only way that play even makes any sense to run out the bottom mid door is there's 2U.
Yeah.
Oh shit, they're on me, you. Like, what the fuck? There's no way Caesar said that.
apparently JP said Sky said 310.
What the fuck
like
is
3 and
10?
10, right?
Right, that would be
Just
10.
3 and 10?
Hang on,
It's 10.
hang on. 3 and 10. Let me
Well, he
just
said
fucking-
that. Okay, so when he calls the streak in,
Apparently he
alright,
called
so,
out 310. He linked it in the chat. Hold on.
so when the streak comes in, there is 3 by 10. So he calls in the streak
Yeah,
now.
by 10. Is it 3 in 10 or by 10?
Yeah, well, okay, so at this specific moment where Skies concede him, there's no longer 3 and 10. 2's already run back. 1's run top. Yeah, I don't know. But even then, right? Even then, if there's 3-10, hypothetically, they just called in a streak. There's definitely a FaZe player top
All right,
mid.
listen.
There's
I'm
definitely
going
a
to
FaZe
say
player
this
top
right
mid.
now. I'm going to say this right now. From when he can see people on the map throughout his streak, there is 1 in 10. The other guys ran away across the other side. There is not 3
Exactly,
10.
yeah, I don't understand how they could even call that out there. Unless the
Wait, can we
timings
watch
are
what he
weird.
linked or no?
Yeah, you can. Right, so listen. Caesar can still see on the streak that there's only 1 guy in 10 and 2 have ran top mid to top plat. So I don't know where this free 10 is because
They say fuck.
they're still not 3 and 10.
All right, I mean, let me just play this real quick.
And when the streak hits the floor, guess what? There's still only 1 in 10. So I don't understand how that's a miscom. That's just listen. I'm not gonna say it in front. Like I'm not gonna say I know what's going on over there. That's not even a miscom. That's like I don't know. Like if my teammate called 3-10 and I watch it back and like two of the people that were next to 10 ran away and he knows that, then I'm tweaking.
All right, this is what JP says.
Okay, just get the bomb down.
Teammates forward and get into the play. Skies plants it for outers.
Bro,
In this moment, she's just basically calling like, yo, do you want me to use the streak or do you want me to save it? And he's saying basically like, Loki, I'll save it, but everyone calls him off and says just Loki, use it. I think you probably just use it just to get the information on the guys. I think there's an argument to say save it until you see someone or something, and call it from a safe safe place. I think that's hindsight. I think you just call it to get the information. So he calls it in. You see him in the iPad. As soon as he calls this in, he says something to the effect of 310 or 310 side. I think he said 310. 310 1R open or something like that.
What?
So with that information,
What?
that's when Ant makes a play because he thinks they're all grouping up 10 to make a retake, and he's just trusting off that info.
Probably the worst call of all time.
You know, the bad part about it is like it's not technically 310. They just were in 10 and then just move back out. To me, this is kind of insane because
There was never any free 10.
and then try and retake mid, even though we could have been like secret pushing up the whole.
This is my point. This is what I'm saying, Don, is that even if there was 3-10 at the time, he still sees in the streak that, only 1 in 10 right now. The other 2 ran away to top mid. That's the comm. Not 3 still 10. What are you calling out the whole time? Are you locked in trying to control that missile?
yeah, I don't know, bro. A part of me, listen, my natural instinct right now is this shit is cap, bro. That's how I feel. This shit gotta be cap. I mean, he is the coach. Why would he lie about this shit? But like, come on, bro. Bro, when they retake this motherfucking bomb and there's a streak in the air, bro. I haven't even played this map this year. I played this map in 2019. You do not retake. There's a streak in the air. They're gonna be mid. And he said he even called out the guy mid. If there's a guy open, why are you running out P1? Like, what does that have to do? Like, it just seemed like, what the fuck, miscom? He didn't even have the timing from the play. Like, when he said, like, oh, he called out this, Shotzzy ran out mid like 10 seconds later. What the fuck? Like, what? He didn't even hit. It's not like he hit out mid as soon as he got the info. Like, he didn't even hit it out right away. Bro, that shit sound like pure cat, bro. Like, that's my instinct. It might not be cat. I don't fucking know. That shit just sound like cat. Motherfucker hit the bottom mid 20 seconds late. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, none of you. He said he even called out the guy open. He said he called out the guy. He said 3 open, or he said 1 open, 3-10. First of all, I guess they calling 10 the whole shit because there was only 1 guy in 10.
Yeah.
The other guy was top plat. So if that's how they call it out, then that's how they call it out. He should still know. Bro, if he's right next to the plat, you could just run to close. Like, what the fuck? They're gonna go mid on a retake. Why do you think Kyler was going towards the closed window? Because when you retake, you get the control of the window. You want the window control so you can retake. That's why I said if they at least did something to get, like, why are we making a solo? Like, I don't give a fuck what, like, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
No wonder Ant's got 10 deaths.
Why is he making a play in a 4v4 and they're all 10 and it's not with a teammate though? Like what? If anything, they should have been like, all right, 310, da da da. Okay, let's say this call out is the worst call out of all time. He's saying 100,000,000%. There's 310. Okay, why don't you and Kyler still go the same way? Why don't you and Kyler still go the same way?
Let's hit a pinch together. Let's go with this because you know that.
Ant call out. I'm running out bottom mid. Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? He probably was mute and then ran out that bitch.
I mean,
some people in the chat are saying like they're protecting Shotzzy, or like people JP protecting Shotzzy. Listen, if the comm was free tin and there was never any free tin, that's step one. That's bad comm 1. Shotzzy running out mid 20, like what was it, 15 seconds later after the free cool tin has been made, dying, like what was it, like 10 seconds after the streaks come in. That's another problem.
But also not
there is no excuse for Ant making that play, bro. Like I love Ant. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Just like when Stephen A. Smith criticizes LeBron, he got to type out a paragraph prior. Shotzzy's godlike, world champion, elite. Sometimes you make a bad play, especially if you're a known playmaker. You know what I'm saying? Just like Steph Curry might shoot a bad shot. You can shoot a bad shot. You can make a bad play. This play was fucking horrific. This play was awful. 5-5, round 11, you have the info and you run out bottom mid, an area where the only cover is a fucking fountain. Bro, anyone who's been on P1, that is the worst. That is the worst area. I hate getting in that fucking hill. I'm never in that hill.
I don't even think there's cover.
Fuck? You gotta lay on your motherfucking belly to get some cover down there. Why the fuck are we running in an area with no cover? And they have to push us. What the fuck? That doesn't even make sense.
I want to believe this as well. I'm just going to say this right now. If OpTic weren't in the form they were in, I truly believe Shotzzy makes the right play and hits a pinch. I truly believe that.
The pinch was begging to be made there.
No,
they had so much time.
I'm saying
Shotzzy
Shotzzy in a different time period where this OpTic roster is not as bad as it is right now. He makes the right play there 10 times out of 10.
Bro, I think the other thing, like I think you guys cooked on the assessment. The thing that annoys me is when JP was like, oh, what should I do? Should I call in the streak for info or should I not? Like, how do you not know? You should have a play call. I guarantee the best teams, they know what they're going to do. They say, okay, we've got a streak, round 11, we're on attack. Perfect. We should have a fucking whiteboard writing this shit down. We're going to hit A. If we have no resistance, we plant the bomb, and then we're going to do this. It's like, how is Skies asking, are we calling in the streak? We should know if we're calling in the streak. We should have a game plan. Should be like, look, we're going to use it for info, or we're going to use it late. We had an RC car as well. Look, he made the right play. He used it for info, and the info was bad. But I don't understand how there's this indecisiveness. It's like, you can't be indecisive.
I'm still pissed off.
He was decisive. Oh, he was super decisive. I'm hitting bottom P1.
Oh,
I'm hitting bottom mid.
Bro.
That was his motherfucking decision.
Listen, I'm still pissed off. They've managed to get the bomb down.
I guess he got the streak mid-round. But like, okay, he got the streak mid-round. Fair enough. But like, my point still stands that if you're in that situation with a streak, you should know what you're going to do. It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to do this or that. It's like, we should know.
I'm still pissed off. They've got the bomb down their side of the fucking bomb, and they've not done anything with it.
Guarantee top teams have protocols for this.
Bro, listen, let me just say this. Even if someone gets top mid, you can't be seen from top mid on the bomb. So let's say FaZe just said, fuck it, we'll just hop the bomb, everyone watch over me. The guy can watch out of fence, the guy can watch his left side of the fence, he still defuses the bomb.
No, I hear you.
Oh my god.
I mean,
it was insane, bro.
Yeah, and then they went on to lose the next couple of maps anyway. So, like, it is what it is. And
it's deserved at that point, though.
Yeah, I mean, the map 3 was kind of competitive, and then map 4, OpTic, I mean, we'll feel like they should have won. I mean, this was another map that obviously people were cooking Skies for because OpTic led pretty much the whole way.
I mean, Sky, listen, I'm going to say this. I think Skies played a good series. I think he done what, like map 1, he tucked them. Everyone tucked them. A BZ 0.48, you don't see that often. Skies got a streak. Map 2, 7 and 7, 1 KD. Map 3 got cooked. Map 4 super cooked. You know, I don't feel like Sky. Obviously, Skies is a scapegoat for this team. But listen, as much as Skies got shit on Map 3, Map 4, I truly believe they're up 2-0. The criticism I have is if Skies really did call 3-10 and didn't give any other information about the rest of the map when he called in his streak on Map 2, that's on him. But listen, you guys can give as much stick to Skies as you want for playing like ass on those last 2 maps, but genuinely they should be 2-0 up. He had a good start to the series, and they just threw.
Thanks, Jack, for the super chat, by the way. I missed it, but I got it on screen.
I agree with you. He obviously could have played better. Like, he definitely had like the worst stats in the series, but I feel like he actually did his job. He was in the hill. Like the map 4, he was in the hill. He wasn't getting the kills. He was in the hill. Map 1, he was doing both. But that was S&D. He got them into a winning position. I mean, if he did call out and he gave the worst call out of all time, I mean, obviously that's really bad. Like, yeah, that's bad. I mean, that's a whole nother fucking rant for me. But
yeah, like that's a different situation. But listen, even in the hard point, they're up 164 to 100, up 197 to 152. Close out the goddamn fucking map.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the series, they outslayed them in the series, right? So like, he did his job.
They outslayed.
To me, especially off that map 1, this was his best series I've seen him play in a while.
Yeah, this guy's had a good map 1. Obviously, map 4 was rough, like for him, but also.
I mean, look, Don, we said it. He needs to get kills or get in the hill. Map 1, he done both. Map 4, he's realizing he's getting, weren't getting the kills, so he hopped in hill, and they nearly won the map.
I respect it.
I mean, yeah, like I said, people are gonna scapegoat him. Maybe he's not the player. Maybe he's not the player that OpTic needed, but it's the player they got, and he's doing his best. They should be 2-0 up in that series, and in my opinion. We can talk about who costed or anything like that, but there's obviously also rounds before the 5-5. But the most important round, you're looking at, you got to look at Shotzzy for that bad play.
This guy's also got the streak, Might have been bad streak usage, but
he started going crazy like in the later rounds at Surge to even put them in that situation. It's just
I saw loads of Sky's criticism after the series, which obviously I get. But also I think there was a little bit of like recency for the last couple of maps. Like Sky, as you say, Sky's start of the series pretty nice. He is the easy scapegoat. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, I understand JP said Skies called out 3-10, but listen, Skies is a world champion. I refuse to believe Skies only said 3-10 that whole streak call.
Bro,
I refuse
to
to
says it wasn't a bad play. Like, rewind 10 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I refuse to believe it. That's JP saying that he called out 3-10. Yeah, but I'm guaranteeing Skies is calling out that where people are on the map, he's not just said 3-10 and just got his tongue out waiting for a rocket to
He's a world champion, yeah, there's no way. No, he's going to call that out. He's going to say 3-10, one going here, one going there, surely. If he didn't, I'd be mind blown. Okay, Audacity says Dashy is the only one who is safe right now. We've got to talk, we talked about Shotzzy a little bit. I do want to dive into a bit of a question on Shotzzy because he's obviously been getting a lot of criticism. At the end of the day, Dashy and Shotzzy are meant to be the two kind of takeover players, and it's not like Shotzzy isn't a takeover player. He's had his moments this season even, but this has been his weakest season I've ever seen from him in the league. I don't think that necessarily Shotzzy can't get back to that form, but I think there is some, there's people that will say right now Shotzi's best days as a player are behind him. Do you buy that idea? You think there's more to come?
No, you got to understand this team. Like, he's just in a chalk team. And, with the plays like that, it's obviously not helping the situation. But, Don, you've been on chalk teams. You make some dumb plays when you're on chalk teams, He, regardless of those plays, his best days are not behind him. They just can't get a solidified roster. There's always some bullshit going on with this team.
Bro, Shotzi's got bro. Like, I know I was just cooking this guy because that play was fucking awful, but Shotzzy is godlike, bro. Like, Shotzzy is a fucking elite, gamer, bro. This guy is fucking insane. Like, people in Halo literally fear this guy. This guy is literally godlike. At the same time, bro, when you're a playmaker, I don't know how you've been, Trey, but, whenever you're an AR player and you have subs on your team, normally your subs, I'll always be bitching at my sub players, like Zuma. Tom, when I team with Tom, I'm always bitching at Tom because you're a sub. You're gonna force more plays. obviously Zuma and Shotzzy are different players, but like Zuma was a playmaker as well. A BZ is a playmaker. It's like there's playmakers.
You're gonna live or die.
You're gonna make more mistakes than fucking Insight. You know what I'm saying? Because Insight's just
you're gonna make more
fucking
mistakes
vibing out.
than because he's sat on a head glitch. You know?
Exactly.
He's not making plays.
Exactly. You're gonna make more mistakes.
Your AR
so, like,
players are the fail safe. Like, you know, if my play doesn't work out, a trade should be there. If he goes and goes and challenges it, my AR player's there to stop some bullshit happening if my play doesn't work, because I'm the playmaker. I have to make this play to make things on the map better.
Mechanically, bro, they were shooting. Like yesterday, they were even shooting. Like Shotzzy is shooting, bro. Stage one, I'm pretty sure he had like the #1 KD.
He
like,
did.
It's not like he can't
he had a 1.26 stage one.
Yeah, it's not like he can't fucking win a gunfire or play this game. This game is clearly a unique Call of Duty, and it's so heavily relying on teamwork. And what's the biggest part of teamwork? Communication. Like, like their communication clearly. If we're blaming that blunder play on communication, clearly they got the worst communication in the world. Their shit is awful. Maybe that's why they don't chow a fucking gunfight together or retake the bomb together. You know what I'm saying? Regardless,
they even talked about it the week before. They were like, our comms were ass. We need to fix our comms for this week. And I mean, look, they only played one series, so.
My thing is, you know, like Don said, this game is so much different than MW3, for example, because the maps aren't big enough. You look at Shotzzy on a Karachi just flying over rooftop, left, right, center, just, you know, balcony to balcony, you know, making plays like that. Guess what? The map's big enough to do that. On this game, it's not. You have to work together as a 4. And there's, like you said, Don, there are some plays that can be made, but majority of the time, it's all about teamwork in this game. Teamwork and comms are going to win you the map.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we've got I don't want to overanalyze it because, you know, Shotzzy is one of the greatest subs in the game or you know, in COD history. But, you know, maybe this game is a little bit different from when those hero plays need to be toned down a little bit because it's more about team orientated. Like, you've seen a lot of tweets from a lot of challenger players, a lot of pro players as well, saying like this year teamwork, like, you know, teamwork matters the most in this game. That's the skill gap in this game is teamwork. And that's why you see like LA Thieves look so good all the time. You look at their minimap compared to OpTic's minimap, it was night and day. They're chatting together, they're working together. Maybe that's why Skies finds it hard sometimes too, because he's just trying to gun 2 people at a time while other people making plays. I think that's the best way you can say it. They keep it close against FaZe, but like I said, we talk about FaZe. They've not had a great hardpoint run. Simp's not been looking great. He played a good series this one, 1.09. So, you know, he's back to that form. But it's also FaZe. You look at FaZe. You talk about them being, you know, we don't really talk about them online too much because you can still just have them winning the event out of nowhere, which I still do. Like I said, this game's all about teamwork. It's all about comms, and you know, you can tell by the best teams to the teams that aren't doing so good who's got the best teamwork and who's got the best comms compared to who hasn't and who's just running around shooting.
Let's do some predictions for the major, because we talked about a few of these teams, and we've got to figure out who's going to win the whole thing and where OpTic going to finish, because their bracket is exciting. Okay, it worked. Let's go. I was refreshing the CDL pick'ems, hoping that it would fix in time for us doing this on the show, and it just has been updated in time, so we can do it live on the official bracket.
I just want to say,
go on.
You want to start off with this series 3-0 done and dusted, on to the next.
Facts.
I was watching a flank, watching the Ravens Thieves, and I agreed with Sam that Ravens have the worst matchup against Thieves, and he said it doesn't even look like they try, and I'm in full agreement for that. It is fucking terrible.
Yeah. They looked so defeated. They looked like literally the worst team I ever seen yesterday.
Maybe on land they could give themselves confidence. They've also got a few days to prep.
We were talking about it too. Obviously, we didn't delve too much into it. There's so much to talk about, stream. There's so much to talk about, and I'm pretty sure we can do some pre-shows leading up to this event online as well, Rab. So we can talk more about it and everything like that. You know, just because we're not at the event, don't mean we're not going to run some pre-shows. So I think even if Rab can't run a pre-show, I'll definitely run a pre-show.
There's no Grand Prix next weekend, so I'll be doing my best.
All right. So listen, we're gonna get some pre-shows, but yeah, we had a discussion about Ravens and Dylan Rex. We said it was his first match coming against Thieves. It's a fucking grueler. Yeah, you ain't looking. If I'm getting picked up and my first match is against Thieves, I'm going up to like this is Sasha.
Poor guy's been probably hella nervous as well, like playing the league for the first time with these guys.
Don't judge me on this performance. Dog's been gassing me for 6 years. Don't judge me on this performance. We're playing against Thieves. And we were like, right, as long as he comes out and drops a 1, that's some good confidence. You can shoot it. Didn't happen.
Point ticks.
Didn't happen.
And then guess who gets to play again on the major?
Oh yeah, he's probably dropping a point.
So we'll see you in losers round 1 playing ROKKR. That's gonna be the important series.
Hey, at least they made winners though.
They did. And they outseeded, or they nearly out, but they would have outseeded OpTic if they won a map against Thieves, they would have.
They needed to win one map to not play Thieves, and guess what?
No, that's the worst thing about it.
You didn't get close.
Like they needed, if they just won one map, OpTic would have had to play Thieves, but instead they managed to get 3-0 door dashed. So.
Wait, they only had to win one map?
Yeah, one map would have. Yeah, one map
would have played Boston instead.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, have mercy, bro. That damn.
You remember that situation at World War II, Don, where OpTic had to win one map versus EG to make champs, and they didn't.
Yep. And it would have been EG that wouldn't have made it in that scenario.
Yeah.
Which is the crazy thing. Because I think it was like Elevate or whatever. It was like Spacely's team or something.
Hey, make sure we like the stream. We're 88 away from 400. That is the goal for this stream. So make sure you like the stream whilst we do this.
Trei, it's good work out of you. This segment as well, brought to you by Bryce Picks, the little prediction seggy. So if you want to claim $50 in your first $5 pick, use referral code Breaking Point. Links in all the description box below. Appreciate the support as ever from Bryce Picks and from you guys watching at home. Okay, Thieves, whatever, we're going to talk more about that. Heretics Ultra is pretty interesting.
It is.
Like this series online, I mean, I don't even know what I would say right now. Certainly on LAN, it could kind of go either way. That it is a home event. They played a couple days ago. Toronto got the win 3-1, but it was pretty close. Game 1 could have gone either way. Miami won the search.
Wham in his picture.
Wait,
He's looking wham. He's been hitting weight.
Wait, he actually has. Oh my god.
No, he's been hitting the weight. Yo,
my bad.
Heretics winning this 3-0. You guys win.
No, I'm taking Ultra again. I took Ultra in the online match. I was right. So I'm back in beef.
I think this is gonna go last map though. I think Heretics have definitely done some bits this online split. I'm still gonna go with Ultra. I know Method is probably sat there if he's watching, or he's gonna watch it back, doing the smoking emoji. But I think Ultra on LAN are a different breed. I'm still a bit skeptical of Heretics on LAN. But this could be a changing point for him. They got Super in. It's all about how Super plays, in my opinion. If he starts frying like he has been, it's gonna be a close series. But I do got Ultra winning 3-2.
I'm gonna take Ultra as well, but I'm actually gonna take him 3-0.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Renka's got some guns, bro. I don't know if you wanna.
Nah, I think Miami's been good. I've been speaking good about them. I think Miami is good. I just think this Ultra team, I think they're just fucking turned. Like, bro, this was literally the game where I seen them on Vault Control. Like, they're gonna beat them. They're gonna beat Miami in Control for sure. So if they win the first map, I could just see a 3-0. Like, the Vault Control, Miami, Real had an AR, ROKKR had an AR, Super had an AR, and Jamie Insight was fucking pissing on him with a sub. Like, after I seen that, like, it's over with. I'm just keeping it 100. That's the most simple explanation. Insight literally channeled a BZ and it was sliding on them. And I'm like, why is Real one of the best sub? He is the best sub player on their team, right? Real? He's the best sub. Why does he have an AR out on Vault Control?
I think the funny thing
they're about to
is,
lose. Like, what?
Don, you can say this, but you can agree with this from being like an AR player at some point in your career. When you pick up a sub, That thing feels powerful.
Oh yeah.
You turn crazy.
I don't think he was picking it up though. Like he had, like he was.
That's what I'm saying. But
that shit.
like you know, when you're using an AI your whole career, your whole season, you whack your team's like, yo, Jamie, pull out a sub. We need some more fucking pressure. This map's fucking going fast as fuck. Jamie's like, oh shit, this thing is like pack a punched.
Also, too, like the sub duo, like Miami is completely like super. Let's say Super and ROKKR do what they've been doing online. Like Metals is just such an X factor. Like,
yeah, he has to play well.
Kleenex and Joe are a top 3 sub duo, are they not? I think so. I think Simp and Abeezy and then Hydra and Envoy, I would take over them. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Like they're gonna have problems dealing with them.
I think they're all on par with each other though. I don't think like anyone's like, you know, I think those 3 sub duos can take over at any point.
Yeah.
This is the absolute Metals classic, man. Should we ever look at Metals like recent KD? I mean, look at this is just trademark Metals. So he played Falcons this stage at a 0.9. He played OpTic this stage at a 0.9. Played FaZe at a 1.25 against FaZe. Plays Toronto 0.6. Plays ROKKR at 1.2. This is what he does, man. This is what he does.
He just don't play well against bums. He's just not doing it.
I took that. It's respectable.
But listen, I've just called Toronto Ultra bums and he's got the 0.6. I'm trying to give you an excuse, brother. I'm trying to give you an excuse. Listen, he didn't want to go 5-0. He didn't want that. He didn't want that.
He didn't want to go 5-0. I respect it.
He didn't want that flawless, gimmick because if you go flawless, you get bopped out. So he was just like, nah, fuck it. We'll let them win that, and then we'll smoke him at the major. Cool, done and dusted.
He wasn't the best online at major one. Let's just say that. So
yeah, but like it's his home major.
They made the run.
It's not a home major.
So it doesn't really matter.
They're Spanish and they're in Florida. So
I don't really get that one. Do you think like Miami are gonna have some crazy home support, Trey?
No, none.
None?
I mean, there might be 2 fans.
They should have some. That would be crazy if they got none.
You think there's anyone that, like? You think there's that many fans?
They're called Miami Heretics, and they're a full Spanish team. They might have some fans, but like
they're gonna get some like local fans. I don't know.
That's insane.
Let's get back to the bracket. They already had 3-1
Listen, they already had their home event sponsored by Toronto Ultra, so like we're good on that.
All right, OpTic versus Boston Breach.
Listen, I'm just scared of Boston because they're a little bit fraudulent online.
I know, man. I know.
But I just watched Shotzzy run out middle map with the streak coming in. 5-5, so like
no, all I'm saying is I got a game 5 on this one. Who am I taking in game 5?
I got a 3-1 Boston.
Ooh, 3-1 Boston, damn. I mean, I'm a ROKKR fan, right? So I want OpTic to lose this series, but I do think they're actually going to win this. It's one of those tough ones. I think they're going to win this series, and then
it's going to be a hell of a good watch, though.
Yeah, I think they're going to win. I go 3-2 OpTic.
Listen, Boston will win, and then Pred's knocking them out.
That would be ideal. So, because I'm a ROKKR fan, I want ROKKR to make champs. But
I think Pred's got the mental on him.
Listen, I'm gonna go reverse sometimes. I was rooting for Falcons and they was this close. Everyone I'm rooting for, they just be choking.
I ain't gonna lie. I was
watching
that series.
I was
watching that
reverse,
series. Bro. Falcons went up 2-0 and someone decided to tweet it going, huh, you guys dumb as hell. I'm surprised no one picked Falcons. They get reverse swept. Didn't see him again.
It always happens like that, man. It always happens like that. I know what the stream are going to vote in this poll here. But look, at the Generational Haters Club, we have to take the best possible route. And you know what that means. We're looking at storylines. Yeah. And also, look, I'm not even cheesing here because I am the biggest Boston fan, like, on the show. So, like, if I don't pick them to be an OpTic team that's clearly fraudulent and having problems, and potentially, their comms are looking not so good. On paper, Boston are the better team here. Like, Boston are 4-1. They were the 2nd seed. So, I mean, Boston were the 3rd seed for Major 1, and they got knocked out.
On land, what are we saying? I mean, I would say they are. They beat LA Thieves last event, but I would say they've gone 4-1 this split. Didn't they have a good online split last one too?
They were okay last one. It was Major 1 that was a good split.
Listen, they're just a gritty team. I don't see them winning an event, but I also don't see them going like crazy far in an event.
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
They're 4-1. You look at them like a team that's 4-1. You look at them to go to a Sunday. I just don't believe they're going to make a Sunday.
No, I agree, but also Boston, they first round Thieves last time, so it's not like we can't justify this. I know that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, they beat Thieves, but listen, I just don't think they're a team that's going to make a Sunday.
No, I agree, but like the series,
Yeah, they can do the thing, but like, will they? Like, they'll beat OpTic, I think, just because like I don't think.
Marcus says they got door dashed out of the event. I don't want to be like pure Boston defender, but like Boston's next couple series, I know the Toronto one wasn't good, but after Boston beat Thieves, they played Surge, and honestly, against Surge, it was not like one-way traffic at all. It was pretty close series, and Surge made the finals. OpTic beating Boston would be an upset, says Michael. It's pretty. Wow, the chat actually has Boston winning 63%. Well, there you go.
I think that's a pretty solid shout.
PD says the split really showed the good and the bad teams of the league. 4 teams with 4-1 records, only happens the bottom teams 0-4.
Listen, I just want to say, when I say they're fraudulent on land, you guys talk about them beating Thieves, okay, but then they got 3-1 by Surge and 3-0'd by Boston. Like, I don't want to. They got 3-0'd by Ultra. I don't want to hear it that they're not fraudulent on land. They beat the best team in the game and then didn't win after that.
I'm gonna defend it.
I'm sorry, that's just like you've just been cooked. Like, I'm just right, you're wrong. Like, that's just straight facts. Let's look at Major 1.
Major 1,
let's look at Major 1.
I don't talk about Major 1 in Boston, my boys. Jose says Purge already used up his voodoo. Okay, Surge versus FaZe. It's a rematch of the grand finals from last Major. But I will say that both Surge and FaZe have been looking not shaky, but Surge, a couple of game 5s in there. Pretty icy. I mean, they went to a lot of game 5s, but they got the job done. But FaZe are still FaZe, and it's difficult to overlook the fact that they 4-0'd them in the grand finals of the last event. What you found,
I want to hear it. Not forging on land. 3-0, 3-0 double first round. Did you guys are fucking morons.
I'm not bringing the stats out. I don't care.
They only won one LAN series in 2 years. That has to be capped.
Not 2 years. I'm just saying, like, this, like, from Major 1 to like Major 3. I'm saying they're fraudulent on land, and people what are you on about? They beat Thieves.
I was just saying something in the chat. They only was Boston ass last year?
Oh my god. I ain't talking.
Yeah. Are you talking about Pentagram
Bro,
Boston?
This was Pentagram Boston. This was Major Maniac Boston.
Oh, I forgot about those teams. God damn.
Like I said,
Okay,
I'm not wrong when it comes down to that shit. Motherfucker. I've never realized how bad of takes this show has without Ace. You're a moron.
Yeah, bring Ace back. The takes get worse. I'm good. All right, Surge FaZe. I think probably both of us are going to lean FaZe's way on this one, Trey. I honestly think it could get interesting, but
it's going to go game 5. FaZe don't look in hard point, but it's
saying.
also this team that like they just match up well against each other. I'm going to take FaZe 3-2. They just match up well against each other.
I think I'm just in the same boat here. Like I think FaZe find a way to win. It's not like the upset's impossible, but I mean, how often do you see FaZe go down to losers round 1? It just doesn't really happen.
Like I said, with their form, it looks like they're showing online. I'd be scared if it wasn't FaZe. Like if there's any other team, I'd be like, but because it's FaZe, they can just do the shit.
I think it's also like Surge, their search has been pretty strong. Like as I say, they've won a lot of game 5s lately, and they're probably going to be game 5 against FaZe.
They have to reverse sweep someone.
Yeah, they had to reverse sweep, like, was it Ravens or some shit?
I think it was Ravens they had to reverse
another
sweep.
Team they had to reverse sweep?
Because that's the series where Vivid got dropped, right?
Yeah. And they went game 5 with Cloud9 and beat them.
They did. I mean, listen, you know, Surge, they're 4-1. They've had some, you know, they've had to reverse sweep. They had a close game versus a compromised Cloud9, but everything else, they did get 3-0'd by Thieves, but that's not surprising considering that they 4-0'd them at LAN 2. So maybe this is like a situation, Don, where it's like a World War II where my team couldn't beat Rise, but we could beat TK, and TK and Rise couldn't beat TK. So maybe we've got another situation with that going on. Or like close to, because every game's a little bit close between FaZe and Surge, but we'll see.
We took FaZe in a 3-2. You disagreed on?
Oh, no, I would take FaZe 100%. Surge is just, I feel like Surge is only better than them at hardpoint. Like Surge, I feel like Surge is really good at hardpoint. Like that's like their strong suit, and like they're solid at the other modes too. I don't think they're bad at search or control, but I just feel like hardpoint, their teamwork is really, really good. I like watching them. I feel like that's gonna be like the best series in the winners round 1.
Surge was testing map pools. Is that like guaranteed?
We can have a quick look, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm wondering if they've got like proof of that. I mean, I'd be okay with it. Actually, would I? Let me check.
I mean, let me see, like, in the Cloud9.
Oh, yeah, they got 225 points. They're playing against 2 teams that they know they're better than them, like, talent-wise alone. Yeah, for sure. But if I don't have proof of a player saying that, I'm not going to believe a fan saying that.
I mean, if you look at the stats, like, they don't play a lot of Skyline Hardpoint, and they played it against Cloud9, and they played it against Ravens. So I think they... You know, they usually veto that
but
one.
To be fair, if I'm Surge and I have Neptune 04...
Well, I do agree. They got a different team now at the start of the game.
I want to run around against Mac and Attach right now in the current form they're in on a Skyline.
Yeah. And they slammed both Skylines too, so...
I said on the flank.
It's not like they're going to be bad at that map, you know?
04 said it. All right, but if 04 said it, I'm cool with it. But I don't want a fan saying it just as them. You know how some fans be like, they're just testing on map pool because they had a close game. If 04 said it, I'm cool with it.
It's that guy, friend of the show.
That's respect.
I like it. Hey, I love 04. Hey, listen, like I said, they probably knew they were going to win those series based on talent alone. They probably had 3 maps in there that they were confident in that they were going to win. I'm cool with it. And if they don't play a lot of Skyline, they smoke Carolina on it. So.
All right, let's get down to
said
losers.
It like an excuse? Nah, fuck it. If they said that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing.
Ravens ROKKR.
On ROKKR, baby, I got to. For the storylines, because think about it. Think about the movie and the script.
Yeah,
the movie and the script. If they lose to Ravens, it's over with. Throw the script out the window. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta go ROKKR. We got to see it through. Ravens, they chilling. They could just keep being ass for a little bit. Come back around champs time, they be vibing. You know
also, like Dylan Rex going into an event after a 0.6.
He's gonna be shitting himself, bro. He's shitting himself. He's gonna he is. He's gonna be playing Thieves round 1. Is gonna drop a stinker, and he's looking at the CDL leaderboards, and he's down there with King of Body, and he's thinking, shit, I gotta throw a rock at it. I don't know.
26 away from 400 likes. Come on, stream lock in. Come on.
You got it, stream. You got it. I got ROKKR in this one too, to be fair. I want to believe in the Dylan Rex hype, but I think it's going to take him some time. Because also you got to realize they dropped Vivid like this, and I don't even think they'd scrimmed with Rex before they picked him up. So
am I really going to do this?
You know what I'm saying?
Every time I vote for ROKKR, they let me down. Bad.
Nah, they win in this one.
Every time.
They win in this one,
every fucking time. Done. They let me down.
Bro, I'm right there with you, bro. But we have to, bro. It's for the script, bro. You want the movie to end this early? The movie we gotta let the movie continue.
Don, I've put my heart and soul into this ROKKR relationship, and they're not giving nothing back, bro. They're just giving me L after L after L after L. They're giving me the cold shoulder. They're giving me GM. They're giving me GN text. They're not giving me good mornings. They're giving me GM. But fuck it, we're going ROKKR. We're going 3-1 ROKKR. Storyline continues.
Look at him,
man.
Kenny's gonna get the dub against the team that wanted him. He's gonna stand up and talk some shit. Are we giving Gentlemates any respect?
No.
No
I might need a
maps?
cigarette watching that series.
If Miami lose to LAG, That's a problem. That's a huge problem.
Listen,
Someone's got to get dropped. It's a huge. Someone's got to get dropped, or I'm putting y'all in y'all worst nightmare. Y'all gonna do like a fitness journey, 30 days. Y'all sprinting every morning. Like something's got to change. We lose to LAG because Miami are good. They're good right now. There is no fucking way. It should be a 3-0. It should be the fastest one. This should be the series where we go grab some food real quick, come back. Thank God that shit was over. You know what I'm saying?
someone, Omega Typhosion said, nah, fellow plays better on LAN. 3-0, Heretics, go.
3-0.
Yeah, I mean,
3-0,
maybe, but I don't really want. Who knows? Heretics can be a bit all over the shop, but this series, I don't see much else happening. Okay, it's let's do Surge Cloud9 first. I want to leave OpTic Falcons. Surge Cloud9. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Peace.
I feel like this might be a funeral series.
It
might be a funeral series, so I give them a map.
Yeah, they played online and it was 3-2. But if O4 say they were testing map pool, I also think mentally C9. Yeah, C9.
Yeah, imagine losing to a team and they're going, "Oh, we just test map pool." Okay. He's basically gone, "You guys are dog shit. We were testing maps you don't even play.
Still beat ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
Still beat you. You guys are." Listen, you're giving him a map. I'm not giving him a map, bro.
No maps.
I ain't giving him a
Frio.
map, bro.
Listen, y'all cannot give them a map. I give them a map just because, like, I feel like if they get top 12, like, this is someone's last series. So, like, your last series, you gotta go out shooting. Like, you gotta at least, like,
Yeah, a little funeral series. I like
do
that.
something, little RIP, like it's over with. It was a good run type shit.
Funeral
I'm just
series
one of
is
those
great.
people. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Don't it don't matter. 1 map, 0 map, same outcome. 3-0 done and dusted.
Is it?
I'm not even hating right now. This is just straight up realization.
Yeah, I hear you. It's the same shit. It's the same result. So, look it.
All right, it's time for the big one. It's OpTic Texas versus Pred on main
Sib
stage.
can hard carry a map. Nah, Sib can. Sib's low-key a fucking shooter. Like,
You ain't wrong.
I fucking love that guy to pieces, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite players. I know some people have a I know some people have an opinion on him just because of the way he like looks like he carries himself, but he's a good guy, man.
I wonder what the chat says about us because they predicted Boston to win the earlier series.
Listen,
They played online.
I'm not hating when I say this. We could see OpTic getting double first round.
We actually could.
There's
The
Listen,
script writers.
I'm not even doing this for the script. I think OpTic might have a mental block versus Pred right now.
Bro, imagine the energy that they're gonna bring to that stage. I don't think OpTic can compete. Like with the energy, they can compete in the server.
Bro, can you just imagine, bro? OpTic lose first map, Pred standing up, pointing at him. Xnid just
X
fucking
is there
screaming and
too?
shouting at him.
Oh my
What if the crowd was on the Falcon side?
I think it low-key could be.
There will be some
Because
people cheering for them.
I'm gonna be honest, like Clay actually is like he's got a cheese with that. Like I know he's obviously not playing. But
Yeah.
like Clay, people root for Clay. Like when I team with Clay, like we had the crowd on our side, like a lot of series. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are they rooting for us?
Well, that's mostly because you didn't have a fucking. That's mostly because you didn't have a series winning about 4 majors. So.
Nah, not with Clay.
Oh no, you was alright with Clay. Yeah, you was alright.
We barely missed out on a chance with Clay. I'm saying Clay, bro. People love Clay. Like they could actually have like hella fans, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
People love AG. They love Xnid. Like
I think Clay's underestimating on how popular he is towards everyone. Like,
yeah,
he's like top 3.
I might
Clay
need
was
to
the
have
most
him walk
supported
out on
player
stage,
apart
like,
from OpTic.
have him sit on the desk for a second.
I got Falcons winning 3-1.
Bro.
I mean, look, I ain't forgetting what happened online.
Listen, my only issue with Falcons is they're okay at S&D, but our cities, as the fucking island they are, has got to stop dying first in the most important positions. Because that guy, listen, I love him to pieces, but he was dying after the Exit 1v3 on Red Card versus Boston Breach. for starters, I don't know what Boston were doing. That was dumb as hell. Secondly, Extend, fire ass 1v3, good jiggles, good shoulders. And then after that, 5-4 up, R-Cities gets first blooded across the map. That shit cannot happen to our Island AR who's playing for info. And it happened, guess what? Not once, but twice consecutively. From the 5-4 to the 5-5.
Yeah.
We got to stop trolling in these S&Ds.
Yeah.
We got to stop.
Oh man,
Like, you got to think as well. Falcons also beat OpTic online, and it weren't crazy close.
No,
yeah, no,
honestly
they
wasn't.
whooped their ass. They whooped their ass.
They're a BTA. Like,
But that's
they're
look, if you look at Falcons' run, they played Surge, lost. They played Heretics, lost. They played FaZe, lost. They played Boston, lost. They played OpTic, and they won. So it just. Honestly,
my thing
I'm not
about
sure
it
who
is,
wins, but
I really do like this Falcons team just because the energy they're bringing, the passion they're bringing, and they know they can take a few teams. They could ruin some chances for champs. And I ain't gonna lie, no matter how much Pred loves OpTic or loved being on OpTic, there would be nothing more pleasing to him than making sure OpTic don't make champs. Or
Pred is
being an
dreaming
issue
about
in
this
the
series every night for the next few days. There's no doubt. Pred's got it scripted. Pred knows what he's going to say after he beats him. I know he's got it written down.
So who we going, bro? We going Falcons?
I've decided Falcons, not because I want the storyline, just because I genuinely believe that there is a mental block, and I think I think Falcons won it a little bit more. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I feel like Falcons can definitely beat them, like for sure. They're gonna be fucking delusional versus them. I just feel like OpTic top 12, like that just seems like there's no way this just gonna line up. Something has to go wrong. Like there's no way everything's gonna line up perfectly. Like
It never does.
Oh,
But we can only hope.
there's
Yeah.
no way. There's y'all think OpTic can get top 12? Because I feel like
Yeah, they
if
done it
they
last
get
year.
top 12, they have to make another change though. Like if they don't even win a series, like I feel like they might win a series though.
Yeah, if they're gonna win a series, it's gonna be against Boston.
If they don't win a series, I feel like they have to make another change. Like that's
Well, then we got
Yeah,
more to talk
100%.
about on the show. This is what it is.
Don, we gotta maximize
Alright,
revenue
fuck it.
over here, and that's the only
All
way
right,
we're gonna do it.
All right, we going Falcons. 'Cause I do personally think Falcons can beat them. I just feel like OpTic not winning a series is like
I
insane.
agree,
I
but
think they can win a
the
series.
thing
It
is,
also
OpTic
happened
the
last
last
year,
two
though.
events of Major 1, OpTic were top 8. Major 2, OpTic were top 8.
Yeah.
Like it's
You gotta throw a top 12 in there.
even the chat's going Falcons, man. Like, look, we can't even say it's cheese.
No,
The
listen,
chat's got 65% Falcons.
before it'd be deemed as
Green
hating.
Wall, where are you?
See, Leaper thinks it's hating. There is no hating here.
I
They've
think
played
it's just
Falcons.
genuine
They've just got,
analysis, bro.
they just got BTA. Pred's gonna go fucking insane. Xnid's gonna be screaming. Like, and OpTic also just don't look good.
I'm giving
I
OpTic
don't see how
about
this
5,
is.
though.
Wait. They did play Style 12 before, right? I know it's a different game.
Yeah,
You said
last
they-
year,
Yeah,
this
that's what I'm
is
saying.
Falcons.
Last year, I predicted
Major
them getting
4.
double first round, didn't
No,
they?
but they were talking about Shotzzy, Hook, and Dashy. He said a team of Shotzzy, Hook, and Dashy will never place top 12. But I think they did it MW2, right?
You got top 12 in MW2?
Didn't they go undefeated and then not win a series? Or was that?
I can. I can have a
Oh,
look.
wasn't it in
Or I could be-
Toronto? Was it in Toronto they got top 12? It was the Toronto major, wasn't it? I think it might have been,
Let me check.
I'll
That's
look
a
it up
completely
real
different
quick.
game, but that is true. That the fact that you said they would never get top 12 and they had it before is crazy.
Let's have a
I'll
look
look right
real
now.
quick, actually.
I'm on it right now.
Someone said Major 4 MW2. He might be a ball knower.
Major 4
Ruby, he
MW2
might be
Columbus,
him.
Ohio. I mean, I don't really count.
Oh, the
Oh,
Pro Am?
they were 5-0, got top 12.
No, OpTic. No.
Oh, no. Oh, that was Major 4. Yeah, that was before New York. They got top 12. I mean,
I
that
swear they got like bombed out of an event in Toronto one year.
they got second that year for sure. Went 5-0 and got top 12. That's insane.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I'm looking it up now. Tournament tier, Premier. See what we got here. Yeah, Major 5. And then, maybe it was. Maybe I don't know what event I'm thinking of then.
Major 5 lost all sips max played.
No, that was. I'm
What-
not tripping. Yeah, it was Major 5 2023 in Toronto. They got top 12, and that was on MW2.
Oh,
Yeah, so
shit,
we are
What
right.
can you do? I just looked at this.
That's what I thought.
But they get
No, I
back
did.
to
No,
back
I
up, though?
no, I didn't look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got top 12. Yeah, they got top 12 at Major 5. With the
okay.
roster being
Yeah, who Dashy Shotzzy, yeah.
Yeah.
And Ghost.
Shotzzy, Hoot, Dashy, Ghosty. Oh, that look at in top 8. You like that top 8 team? Little top 8 finito from Temp, Clay, TJ, and Standy.
Bro, we got bracket fuck, bro. We got bracket fuck, bro.
Oh, you played FaZe round 1, beat Surge,
And
lost to
in
New
New
York.
York, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
tough. That's
And
tough.
we were in winter, so it's not even like we did bad.
I
so we played good
remember that,
teams.
man.
Yeah,
I
we got
remember
hoes,
that.
bro.
That was so unlucky from you guys.
Bro, all three of those guys got top 4 at champs. Surge got 4th at champs. FaZe and New York, obviously, they're good.
Yeah.
God damn, give me a freebie, baby.
You guys played the 2 finalists.
Give me a freebie. I promise, because my team was actually like good. Like we got good. I think we're actually like a top. Like if we had an easier bracket, we would have got top 4 at that one event. We went like 4-1 with Standy, like both splits online.
So OpTic came in at 5-0. They lost to Florida round 1. Oh, this is when they didn't even win a map. Wow, I forgot about this. They got 3'd by Florida round 1. They got 3'd by Thieves out of the tournament.
listen.
So-
It happens.
It happens.
and
yeah.
it's not like. And last year they got double best of they got double first round last year with the team that won champs. Like it's doable, and I truly believe that Boston is the better team than them right now, on paper. And although I believe OpTic are a better team on paper versus Falcons, Falcons also just beat them, and I feel like they're gonna have some sort of crazy agenda against them. They're gonna have some unmatched passion, and I think it's just gonna be. I just think it's either be a 3-1 or a 3-2 to Falcons. That's not me hating. That's not. There's no hating involved.
I actually hear you though. Like, I think if
you're-
OpTic are going down to losers here, they're done. I actually think OpTic need to be Boston, bro. I think if OpTic drop down to losers, I think it's over. I think
It was a double first round. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, you're right, PD. I'm more talking about not double first round, just top 12 in general.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Are we taking ROKKR to keep the run going? We'll go through this relatively quickly now because I know
I
the
hope
show's
so.
been going hella long.
I hope they beat Miami. I hope they do. 'Cause this.
No,
make
it ends right there.
It ends there?
I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting for him. I'm not. They've hurt my soul too much.
Unfortunately, I do agree. I'm taking Heretics in 4. But it's not like it's
the last left for ROKKR, bro.
It's not like it's over for
I mean,
ROKKR
listen,
yet.
Don.
I
you know me.
understand. I understand.
Don, I don't like the way Spanish COD's played, but the team looking good, and ROKKR just can't fucking buy a win right now. It's got to be Miami, I'm telling you. Listen, as much as I want I want ROKKR to win just because it keeps the story of champs alive. Like the storyline, it's good. I mean, they can still make champs if they don't, but it keeps it interesting.
Oh, it's gonna be real tough.
But I just don't see it happening, son.
I like that comment from Marcus. Reb is literally drooling over this idea. I mean, look, am I going to say no to an OpTic versus Pred losers round 1? Absolutely not. I'm not trying to hate watch, but like, I do want that losers round 1 Pred versus OpTic. I'm begging for it.
That pre-show's gonna go crazy.
That would be lit.
That Friday would be insane. Falcon Surge, you got to think Surge keeping the run going, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm giving Falcons the 1 because they won the 1 online again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be seeing you later.
Yeah, I'm taking Surge. I'm taking Surge in a 3-0 there. All right, moving up to the winner side. This is where things get pretty tasty. Things actually get real tasty in this top series. Thieves Ultra. Because so far this season, Thieves have more points, but Ultra have their number in the head-to-head. At least that's how it's looked recently. Adam Adamu did the tweet after they took their players from them, and he said, look, next season, we're going to be better than you guys, regardless. And if we look at their recent games, there's some evidence to support it. Toronto versus Thieves as a historical matchup is looking pretty good lately. Obviously, at the major, Toronto 3-0'd them. They beat them 3-2 online the other day. But in the major 2 qualifiers earlier this year, Thieves 3-0'd them. So this could go either way.
We got Dave Ramsey coming in. My wife's boyfriend said that if ROKKR win champs, he said he's going to take her to Pound Town. I'm not sure where that is, but hopefully I'm invited.
Hang on, let me unfreeze Trey.
Lord have mercy, bro.
Listen, I love the fact that I've always got FaZe winning an event, but I feel like this is Thieves' chance.
No way. He's finally
win the
joining the
event.
train.
I think this is Thieves' chance to win the event. Ultra look very, very good, but Thieves also look very, very good. I've got Thieves taking this one 3-1.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to the stream. I think we hit 400 likes. So shout out to y'all, man.
Hell yeah, Don.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Says it on my screen. But I'm also picking Thieves to win this event. But I do think they're going to lose this series. I think they'll lose this series and win it from losers.
I like that.
I think it'll be good for them. I don't see them I don't see them winning the event and never having to struggle. Like, I think that's only right for them. That's been their like critique is they don't do well when they struggle. They need to fight through, you know, an and one. Basketball, you hit a layup, fight through the motherfucking contact. They need to finish through contact, and I think they will just because FaZe, they've just been winning everything, bro. Like, it's someone else's turn at this point. Jesus Christ, bro. Like, they're probably just getting bored at this point, just winning everything. Like, Thieves have been good. Hydra has been on my fantasy team too. That's another reason.
Oh, you cooked the stage.
Bracket. Give me some more points. I wanted to actually because I tried to trust my instinct and pick Alec or started Alec over Kismet, and then Kismet had 109 kills versus fucking Toronto somehow, and then Alec was getting blooded. So I wanted to, even though I have the #1 fantasy player in Hydra, so hopefully he could carry me at the event. But I really like this. I really like Kleenex and Joe. Like, I just really like that sub though. I think they're just gross. I feel like they're hard to play against. I also like Beans too. I wasn't really high on Beans before, but like I feel like Beans is pretty fucking good. He's been doing his thing on this team. He looks a lot better, probably just because he just has a better team. He looks good. Insight, obviously, his Insight. He's doing his thing. I feel like they just been matching up well, and they're gonna win the first series, and then Toronto is either gonna finish third or second. Like, maybe they beat FaZe, maybe they don't. But I just think Thieves are gonna make a losers run and take it home.
You know, I actually agree with everything that Don said right there, so I'm gonna lock that in. I like this storyline. I actually think the Thieves losers run, I do feel that, because I think this series is going to be, it makes a lot of sense based on the way the Thieves are as a team, and also the way that Ultra are. So I'm taking Game 5 Ultra taking the dub.
Ryan told me in the chat, I'm knocked out.
Okay, rip. FaZe Boston. Cheeky little
FaZe.
Cheeky little 3-8.
No, I thought you were about to pick Boston. FaZe.
No. I'm saying, do I give him a map or not? Just because this has been a tough matchup for Boston ever since.
What you want about what you want about Boston aren't fraudulent? Fuck off out of here. 3-1 Boston. 3-1 FaZe.
Yeah, I think I'm taking FaZe 2 in this one.
I got Boston to win the hard point though.
3-1 FaZe. I'm down for 3-1 FaZe.
All right, the losers gets real tasty here actually. So Boston Heretics. That's for top 4. That's for Sunday.
I actually like that match.
Man, imagine if ROKKR win. ROKKR could beat Ravens, Heretics, Boston. Imagine how mega that would be for their champs run. I'm just saying. Just saying, if you're ROKKR, you've got the bracket to like knock out all of your contenders.
Who your comp is.
Yeah, you just kill, you just knock your comp out one after another. But they're doing it. But like they could do it. He's making Sunday though. I mean, the winner of this series, like they're a champs. It's a champs lock-in. I mean, it's not. You might say it's locked after if Boston win against OpTic, but like this is locked for sure if you win this series.
Damn, this is shaky, bro. Who am I? I don't know. I feel like this is the actual 50-50.
I think Boston will do one, bro. I think Boston will do one. I think they're due a Sunday, man. I think they're due. Because last major they had harder teams to beat to make it to Sunday, and this time I got them doing it. But I don't know what chat's gonna say here. I know chat's gonna. I know what chat's gonna pick.
When were they due?
They just do, Trey. They just
When
do.
were they due?
They just do. I don't know what you're talking about.
When? Tell me
I
when
just-
they were due.
They just do a good result.
They've
They've been
not
too
been
good online.
due.
Hell yeah, they have. They made a championship Sunday. The last time Boston made a champ Sunday was 2 years ago in MW2, and then they blew out their roster. This is going to happen again. They're going to do it.
Yeah, so they're not due.
I got the script. No, the chat voted Miami, man. I might just disagree.
Yeah, because so they should. Listen, I want Boston to be there as much as the next person, but I'm not going to disrespect Miami just because, you know, I've been disrespecting Miami too long for good reason. But now I can't.
Grab
Boston
smoking
do
the
us
czar.
So who- Is it up for me to make
It's
a
up to
decisive
you.
vote?
Yeah, you gotta decide. You gotta decide. No, the chat said Miami if you want to use them to lead. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta go Miami, especially if they take out ROKKR at that point. Because I feel like they are better than ROKKR, but I don't want them to beat ROKKR. So if they take out ROKKR at that point, just fuck everybody. At least make a run. At least make it this Sunday at that point.
All right.
And they
well,
have looked good. They have looked good, taking all the bias out. I'm just trying to be funny and shit. They have looked really, really good. I mean, they beat FaZe, right? They've been doing their thing.
Yeah,
So
well.
I think they can do it. They could beat Boston for sure.
all right. Well, when Boston makes Sunday, I will be here. I will be here.
And when they don't, I will be where I left you.
How many maps we giving Boston? I gave him one.
Yeah, we give them one.
Yeah,
Alright,
sure,
go
why
on.
not?
Yeah,
Like Don
sure.
said, little funeral.
The other side is Thieves versus Surge. That's a pretty mega losers game. Like, I've got Thieves making the run. I've been pretty adamant about it. As I say, I spoke to their performance coach after the major, and I don't know. My feeling is it's either after what happened last major, they crashed out earlier than they should have done, got a bit complacent. It's either they lock in and play some great stuff, or they don't. And this stage, they've been just impossible to beat, apart from Toronto. They've looked like indomitable all the series they played. I don't think Surge actually puts that much of a fight here. I think it's a real tough matchup for Surge. This.
I mean,
I
listen,
prefer
the last
Surge
time
against
they
FaZe
matched
than I do
up,
against Thieves.
the last time they matched up was in the qualifier. They lost 3-0.
Oh yeah, they
Damn.
did actually. They got slammed. I remember that.
The minor, they played Thieves on Major 2. That was like Neptune with Neptune as well. They lost 4-3. And then the last time they played, which I'm pretty sure was not with Neptune, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it was with Neptune, and the last time they played before that, they got 3-0 too. So
It's not a good matchup for Surges.
nah, this is what I'm saying. It's one of those matchups where they just don't beat them. It's just a weird one for him. So, yeah, based on that, I'm going to take Thieves winning 3-0, just based on old performances and stuff like that. I'm going to take them winning 3-0. I just, like I said, I want FaZe, what is it, 3P right now, including EWC. It's going to be super hard to get, to go 4P. I believe they can do it, but if there was an event where I think LA Thieves could definitely win, it would be this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Thieves taking the win. Surge go down. They're out top 6, which is kind of unfortunate, but I'll give Surge a map in there. But not much more than that. I do
Give
love a
him a
little
map.
3-1. Give him a map. Okay, back to the winner side. We've got Toronto FaZe. This is to get to the grand finals. And this is where I think that FaZe's weaknesses, they start to get exposed a little bit. I think Toronto have been super strong. This is the series I was on the desk for back at Major 1. They went Volt, hardpoint, and it was like 238. Somehow they got out the hill. Toronto lost, and then they got beaten for the rest of the series. I think it's a different team now. I think Toronto are better than they were. And look, nobody else other than the Dynasty has ever done a 4P, I don't think. Maybe, actually, probably Complexity. But in recent times, nobody's done a 4P, and for very good reason. So I think
So the last time these the last time these played, Ultra 1-3-2 in the online on Major 3.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it was it's been a while since they played each other. Major 1 at LAN, they beat Ultra 3-0. So
Yeah, but that was like game 1 I'm talking about, where it was the most insane game 1 of the year.
yeah, when no one got in the fucking hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know this is gonna be a close series. I think maybe this is where we start seeing where FaZe is actually like not looking good in hardpoint. Maybe translate to LAN. I don't know, something just feels a little bit off, especially when you see, like you said, you don't see Simp having this many off games done.
Yeah.
So maybe it might just be a hardpoint woe for him at this point. I do got FaZe winning some S&Ds though, because I think FaZe are a very good S&D team.
Oh, they're gross at search.
Yeah.
It's so weird how it looks. Like from hardpoint to S&D, it looks like they're a completely different team.
I know. I think I got FaZe winning 3-2.
I'm going Toronto.
I'm going Toronto. If it was game 5, probably leaning FaZe, but I'm taking Toronto in 4.
Damn, you're making me choose between FaZe and Thieves for a final. You guys are assholes.
Toronto in the finals. Congratulations. Thieves versus Heretics. Thieves 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, Thieves at this point of the tourney, if this actually happens, they will just be on fire. Like, they'll just be catching fire, and Heretics will have no answer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought that.
And all right, so we got our top 3. We got FaZe, we got Thieves, we got Ultra. I think this is probably the top 3 on recent evidence that we should get. Even though FaZe qualifies, you wouldn't argue it, but like it's FaZe.
I think Surge would be there if they didn't have to run in. Like I said, this is
the Surge bracket is hard, man. Like they play.
Listen, there's 3 of us.
They play FaZe round 1, and then maybe Thieves or Ultra. It's tough.
Yeah,
Tough bracket
there's
for
3 of
Surge.
us. I don't have Surge playing Thieves. I think Thieves like go forward in the bracket and winners bracket. But you guys chose Ultra, so we got to go with this. So like I said, Surge could also just come out and do a masterclass too, because they are that type of team. But damn, you're making me choose between Thieves and FaZe is insane. Because I said I got Thieves winning the event, but I had FaZe in the finals versus them.
Unlucky. Toss a coin.
I'm gonna go Thieves.
Damn.
I'm gonna go Thieves too. I think this is finally.
I'm going 3-2 though.
Yeah, I'll go Thieves
3-2.
3-2. This is the real finals right here.
Yeah.
They win
Yeah,
this
I
shit,
hear
they're
you.
finna slam Toronto in the finals.
Like I said, I had FaZe winning. I had FaZe like having a takeover year, but I think going 4-peat back to back to back to back. Like if they do it, fucking fair play. I just think it's a hard task to ask, especially with how like everyone's getting better. Everyone's getting better too.
It's also like the level of motivation, right? It's like there's FaZe just are they gonna want it as much as Thieves or even Toronto?
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure they
what
will.
I'm saying? I know they will want it, but like there's wanting it and there's kind of needing it. Whereas Thieves need it, I think.
My
this
thing
event.
is though, I don't know. I feel like if shit. Yeah. Damn. So we're basically saying we're gonna have Thieves and Ultra in the final, right?
Yeah. I've already written it in 4-1. Maybe it's a bit.
I mean, really?
4-1. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I think Ultra might just get outclassed in that finals.
Yeah.
Bro, look,
I
what
think
I
it'd be
will
like
say
a 4-0
is
team,
that
something like that.
as much as I love the Ultra team, CleanX and Insight in finals, they are kind of proven breakers. I'm not saying they've not won, but they have broken before. So I don't like. I feel like a hot map one for Thieves. It could be. I want to be proven wrong. I want Ultra to prove me wrong. But in a big final, I still can't pick them. I can never pick Ultra in a final. Right now, this is what it is. Like I wish I could say otherwise. But that's just my opinion.
They've been broken since that Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly.
That Minnesota reverse sweep, 3-0 down, 4-3 win.
Yeah, so I think if it's finals, these bring the energy to get the job done. I also think they play the best card of any team right now.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I see people in the chat saying it's just unpredictable. We're just doing a bracket. I mean, of course, FaZe can win this tournament. They're the best team.
Ultra can win it.
Ultra can win it. Thieves can win it. Surge, if they just fucking lock it the fuck in, I guess they may have a outside chance. But
Yeah, Jay, I'm talking about the finals, buddy.
There's a
Finals
different
pressure
story between the
compared-
first game of the day on Championship Sunday and of Grand Finals.
Yeah.
Like, look,
Jay, you gotta
Surge
look
went
at
to
it
Grand
this way.
Finals. They got 4-0 slammed by FaZe. That's not a coincidence.
Yo,
When they
Don,
were
I'm not
3-2
taking. I'm
round 11
I'm not
against them
going
early on.
same intensity grand finals as I'm going fucking group play round 1 against fucking Mind Freak.
yeah, it's just different. Yeah, it's just
My
different.
bad,
So,
Mind Freak. Yeah,
My bad,
well, there,
Mind Freak.
yeah, there we
bad
have
shot.
Mini soda. Shit.
Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the dope
Kind of
check
liking
bracket.
the bracket apart from one thing because you guys hold me.
Yeah, all good, all good.
Nah,
hold
it's
my
I did
rock,
actually
too.
make
Yeah,
a whole
no.
like challenge bracket here just in case we couldn't do it. So like I could draw this one out real quick so we actually get the result. If you see what I'm saying? But it doesn't really. That's all right. It's all good. The boys can put together a graphic rather than me messing through this for the next couple of minutes.
Oh yeah, we ain't putting up a challenge, lineman. Good on that.
Yeah, I made this just in case with the CDL one didn't render in
Lineman,
time.
Good on that.
But we can do a little if you haven't seen all the
I was
numbers
making
line.
challenge brackets like we're in a fucking co-ed switch.
Yeah, these are all our matches anyway that we've got, so we'll put these in the bracket for you guys. But yeah, that's where we are going to leave it pretty much for the show. I think we've covered everything today, gentlemen. I think we've covered everything. And chat has been here along for the ride as well. So it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a great weekend. We've got the major coming up in a couple of days. And then I think after the major, it's straight into the qualifiers and major four. So there's not much time for these teams that might need to blow it up. But they may well need to blow it up because some of these teams are ass, some of these teams are good. But I will say this tournament is very unpredictable. I think that there's at least 3 teams that could win, maybe 4. If you want to throw Surge in the conversation too, I don't think it's impossible. And there's plenty of teams that could get first rounded, including some very notable teams that would cause a lot of controversy if it happened. But yeah, Don, had a good time. Been a pleasure to have you back.
Yes, sir.
See you in a couple of days.
This is serious time. It's gonna be a good major. This one.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be a good major. Are you signing us off, Rab, or?
I think you can sign us off, Trey. You got it.
Oh, here we go.
I'm
here
running
we
out of
go
energy
again.
today.
Yeah, I feel you. I woke up at like 5 p.m., so I've got us covered. Don't worry. Hey, we appreciate everyone watching. I think it is Dope Check episode 57. I think you are right with that, Rab. I think someone put it in the chat.
Hell yeah.
We appreciate you tuning in. We did reach our like goal. We had over 1,000 viewers for pretty much the whole stream, so we appreciate you all for tuning in. We appreciate the love you've been showing. Mr. Donny Tempe is now a solidified normal member every Monday for the Dope Check, so we appreciate that. Normal member.
Congratulations.
We appreciate that.
to your normal
Congratulations, Don. You are now normal.
Thank you.
Miami major coming up, or Boca Raton major coming up, major 3. This is where champs gets interesting. The champs run gets interesting. Some of your favorite teams might make it. Some of your favorite teams might not, and that's just the way life goes. We appreciate everyone tuning in. There should be some pre-shows this weekend. If Rab can't do them, I'm sure I can put one up for us or something like that along the line. So we appreciate that. Listen, Dope Check after the major 2. We hope to see you all there. From me, myself, and I. I'm joking. Rab and Don too. Listen, we appreciate you all. We'll see you guys Monday for the show. Hope you have a good night and see you later.
Take care, guys.
Later.